And welcome everybody, and good evening. Welcome to Spelljammer Lost Divinity right here at Proficiency Bonus. We're getting things settled. It's been a crazy tech night for us again. So if you'll notice, on our screen there, we've got some people in the same room. We've got some people out of the country. We've got some people everywhere right now. So we're trying to make everything work tonight to bring you some amazing content here at Proficiency Bonus. My name is Michael. I'll be your game master for the evening. And we are going to, first of all, thank a couple of our sponsors. We want to thank Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle Games for all their support. If you type in !Little Dragon or !CCG in our Twitch chat, you'll get a quick link to their storefront where you can go purchase some awesome RPG-related merchandise and gear, including these dice. Go ahead and pick up some dice while you're there, and you can use the coupon code BONUS to get 15% off of your order while you are shopping. So make sure you do that. At some point tonight, we're going to have Crystal with us in just a moment. Cleo will be here tonight. Running a little bit behind, but we will take a break whenever Crystal gets here, and we'll get it all set up so we can have Cleo in the chat with everybody. So, before we get started, are there any other beginning announcements that we need to make before we start? No? All right. Derek's like, there might be, but I don't know. Excellent. So we'll do a quick intro to get us into tonight's session. As our spacefaring travelers made their journey back to the Rock of Brawl from their dangerous visit to the derelict Nautiloid, they had a few things to patch up within their relationships with one another, and it's a good thing they had several days in Wild Space to accomplish this. Upon their return, they were excited to find out that their ship was ahead of schedule and would be ready by the following day. This gave our group just enough time to take a rest and wander about the city and do some more exploration. Late that evening, Cecil, spying a cloaked figure in the shadows of the alley nearby, alerted Xeryn, who went to investigate. As the cloaked figure began to sneak up behind her, she spun on her heels with a mighty strike from her blade, but the figure was able to block the attack with a ready dagger. To Xeryn's surprise, she was face to face with her older brother. And that's where we left off last time. We're going to pick up right at that moment.
I totally forgot that's what happened. I totally forgot that's what happened. Damn it!
So, Xeryn, you are standing there, your arm kind of fully extended with your longsword blade out, and you can see that the blade is just resting against this, the blade of this dagger is just like made of some type of black, either metal or some, it's just completely blackened out as he's holding it there. And you're standing there, you're face to face with your older brother, and your younger brother kind of came out from lurking in the shadows behind some boxes and other things that were just sitting up against some of the streets up there at the street. And he just came kind of like lurking out of the background shadows as you're standing there. What do you do?
Let me just roll really quick. She drops her sword. It clatters to the ground.
Ting, 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 ting. The figure in front of you lowers his weapon. He doesn't drop it, but he lowers it, and you see him put it into a kind of like a sheath that's right there, like right attached to his hip. And he slides the blade into it, looking down, keeping his eye. He actually took his eyes off of you for a moment while he did that. And you see him bend down. He reaches and grabs your sword, and you hear it go shh as he kind of pulls it up. And he turns it around, the hilt, or the handle facing your direction, holding it by the blade carefully, and extends it back out to your hand.
I just hug him. I just launch myself at him.
He embraces you back.
What the fuck? What the fuck, Solon? Kai? You're alive?
So Kai starts to hold up his hands like this and looks at you. Hey, it wasn't my idea. Look.
You did it!
This was all Solon.
What do you...
And Solon,
How?
Listen, sister, we've been alive for a while.
This whole... I punch him. He's being a dick. I punch him.
Hey, okay. I'm just joking around. Take it easy.
This is not something to joke about, Solon.
I know, you're right. You should have seen your face. You know, you really need to keep a hold of that thing.
I sheath it. Grab it and sheath it.
Gosh, you guys are hard to keep up with.
Where have you been? I saw... There was so much blood.
We got out of there as quick as we could. They did a good job of making it look like it was us, right?
Yeah. They also made a good job of making it look like it was me who did it.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, sis. It wasn't supposed to happen that way.
What way was it supposed to happen? Wasn't supposed to happen at all.
It wasn't. I got news about what was going on almost too late. If it weren't for Kai here, we probably would be dead.
I turn and look at Kai.
There was a bunch of shady business going on. We got out just in time.
Couldn't have let me know somehow up until now, this whole time.
We tried. We just didn't have enough time. We had to get out. We were first on the list. It just so happened that when she failed to take care of the first couple on her list, she needed to find a new plan. Unfortunately, sis, I have a feeling that that new plan was to just pin it all on you. I'm sorry. Like I said, it wasn't supposed to work out that way.
But
Our hope was we could get out of there and regroup.
Father's really gone, isn't he?
Yeah, unfortunately, he's gone. We're glad we were able to find you, though.
How did you get off planet?
Well, same way you did.
Uh-huh.
You know, Dad was dead, I figured he wouldn't be able to yell at me.
I mean, he's probably still yelling at us.
Yeah, good point.
Where's your ship? Wait, which one did you take?
Oh, we took one of the smaller ones. Don't worry about it. You went all bold and took one of the big ones. Like, how'd you get away with it?
I was really mad.
I mean, I know there was chaos at the time, but that was smooth. No, funny story. We crashed it.
Where?
Gosh, I don't even remember the place. Luckily, we found some people heading through, and they were able to pick us up and bring us here.
Is it just you two? Anyone else?
It was just us.
I mean, I'll take it.
Kai crashed the ship. It's his fault. It was not. I told you that I had very little experience flying one of those, and you made me do it anyway. Easy. Easy. It really was his fault.
I just go and hug Kai.
He embraces you back.
This is what you get for skipping out on training.
Look, it was just a couple times. Okay, a couple hundred.
Yeah, that's what...
I get it. Solon looks at you, and you can see his expression kind of changes from kind of like joking around with my family to more of a serious kind of tone. So Kai, I heard some things before this all went down. There's a lot of bigger stuff going on than we even realize. So some kind of cloaked woman came to talk to Dad. Something about some kind of truce or some sort of collaboration. Kai said the only name he heard being used was a word, a name, Dementia della Rosa.
Mother...
Apparently, they've got some kind of device that they're working on powering that can... Well, thanks to Kai, we have a little bit of an idea what it does. Basically, when powered by the right source, it's a device that can gather the souls of entire planets in a matter of minutes.
Sure that bitch would like to get her hands on it too. Honey. I've heard that name before. Just recently, actually.
Yeah. And that's also the problem now. You know, now, our good friend. She, didn't agree with how the negotiations were going. You know, Dad, pretty stubborn. He wasn't going for it. Ultimately, that's what led him to his end. He didn't want to get involved.
But now did.
So what better thing to do than to take over leadership and make the choices for yourself?
I mean, we all know that she had been vying for that for much longer before this happened. It was perfect.
cutting out a little bit on me, Christy, when you get really quiet away from the mic. There you go.
Oh, sorry. She said that would be like, she had already been planning to take over for a minute, and this was probably just the perfect excuse to hit the go button. Is there anyone from Thrace that you've heard from that knows what's going on?
We haven't heard anything. We've tried to avoid the place. You know, if we show our faces there, we're gonna get strung up. We're supposed to be dead. Most people
You're supposed to be the ruler right now, Solon. You're supposed to be king right now.
Yeah, look. Right now, I'm standing in an alley on the Rock of Brawl. See how that worked out for me?
So what's the plan?
Well, if you want me to be completely honest with you, I was hoping you had one.
We do have some ideas, at least with dementia and the other. Vic, what's the other name? Dementia and
Leora.
Leora. Is Leora the higher one, or is Dementia the higher one?
Dementia
Leora.
works for Leora, but Dementia is like seems like she's like in charge of a lot of people on behalf of Leora.
We talked to Dementia, didn't we?
Oh wait, yeah. Dementia was the one who was in like the slime communicator that talked to us.
Okay.
She's the one that asked you to go meet with her. Mm-hmm.
Well, we do have a potential meeting with Dementia. That was our initial plan, just because it keeps coming up. I guess for now, let's get you back to my ship.
Oh, great. Yes. Introduce me to your friends.
Behave.
I'll do my best.
I was mostly talking to Kai, but you too.
I'm on my best behavior all the time. Come on, sis. I tell you what. You're your larger, taller friend, and your the one that seems to be made out of some kind of liquid.
Yes.
They were really close to catching me that one time.
Yeah, they mentioned seeing someone that looked like me, but I wasn't sure if it was one of her people or someone that would be an ally.
Tell them next time, look up.
To be fair, I thought you were both fucking dead. Let's go.
What's funny is you start walking back, and Caesius starts running up the wall.
Yeah, I know.
And goes up onto the roof. And you see him kind of like jump from one building to the other.
Glad to see his show-offy nature hasn't settled in the least.
And you return to your vessel with your brothers. As now you have Rayla's whole cult aboard your vessel now.
We're getting an army, guys.
and your whole family.
Wait. Yeah.
And Zalath, it's funny. You return from your trip to the Mages Guild warehouse here, the Mages Guild, right about the same time. You guys are all kind of getting back together at this moment.
Hello, Captain.
I have some people to introduce you to. This. I will step aside. Is Caesius within view shot, or is he still fucking around?
He's within view shot. He
Okay.
he came down off the buildings when you guys got close to the dry docks, because there isn't really any buildings around where you guys are, so you had to walk kind of across the dry dock area to get to the vessel.
I will say, Captain, something you notice right away is that Zalath isn't wearing his armor. No, he's got clothes on. No, he's got clothes on. He's not wearing a suit like his armor.
He's
Like,
naked.
he's always come in. He's always gone out in his armor.
Yeah.
He has his armor on, and he has his maul over his back. The only thing that from his armor that you still see is the chain thing that's around his wrist. So.
Yeah, you guys are all together. I would say Cecil, you're probably together with the group too. Cleo is absent. She's downstairs baking.
Yeah.
Wait, am I there or am I with my cultists?
I think you sent your cultist down to meditate into. I think that was where we left off, right? They were supposed to be meditating and really
Yeah.
trying
I was definitely harassing
Yeah,
one cultist.
you were harassing a cultist before you came up. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like getting them situated with their evening prayers or whatever. So I guess after I did that, I would be up here.
I would probably like do like a calm call and be like, "Hey, get up to the deck."
Okay.
I'll show up.
I gesture at the taller man. This is Solon Maurice. He's my older brother, and that fuckhead over there is my younger brother, Caesius.
Hey, everybody. Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. Were you the one I was chasing that one time?
That was him.
Oh.
Hey, way to throw me under the bus.
You kind of just like disappeared. I don't know how you did that. That was really cool though.
He can walk up walls.
Of course, because the captain can too. I should have known that.
Why are
You
giving
guys
away
don't
my
make any
secrets?
sense. You guys really don't make any sense to me.
We don't make any sense.
Yeah. Like, because if you were friends, like, why would you just kind of like sit and watch people? Why wouldn't you just come say hi?
Yeah, why didn't you come and say hi?
We didn't know these folks. We've never seen them before. You were always kind of hanging around them. We wanted to get you alone so we could just talk this out. We haven't seen each other for a while.
Okay.
We were kind of on kill order for you, so it could have gone really bad.
He kind of smirks a little bit.
Even Xeryn smirks.
Look at Guy and he's like, might have been fun at first, but...
To be fair, I didn't know it was you. I thought it was one of hers.
Well, you have every reason to think that too. I wouldn't be surprised if there aren't a couple of hers out here.
Can I hold out my hand to them, and I'll say, Rayla, the pleasure's all yours.
Don't kiss the hand. Please don't kiss the hand. Don't do it. It's gonna give her too much power.
Let me roll the dice real quick and see what Solon does. Solon takes your hand. He doesn't kiss it, but he takes your hand and it's a pleasure, Rayla.
Yes, it is. I'll do the same. I'll do the same to the younger brother.
Caesius takes your hand and he does the same thing. Like you can see like he's mimicking his brother a lot with stuff like this. And so he takes your hand and he just kind of bows a little bit. He doesn't really say anything.
Cool.
Rayla, do you still have that book?
The book that mentions dementia.
That's the one.
Yes, I do. I produced it from who knows where. I don't have pockets in this this dress is like a scrap of cloth, but I have it.
And book.
Yeah. I'll hand it to Solon for him to read over.
What's this?
It's where we first heard that name.
But you told me you spoke to her.
We did after we found this book.
He starts flipping through some of the pages and is kind of just digging through it. There's a lot to read, so he's kind of just milling over it for a moment. So when you spoke to her, what did she say?
Rayla, do you remember what she said? Because Christy can't.
Victoria doesn't remember either, but Rayla definitely does. Because Rayla was like, "I'm gonna come. We'll meet up with you so that you can be in the presence of your betters."
That is true. That is something that happened. I think.
Oh man, what was she? Lark's journal. I think she told us where she was. She told us that she was in. Tilly? No, not Tilly in space.
I believe she told you she was at Shide's space.
Shitty space.
Shitty space.
Shitty
She's a shitty space.
And then I don't think she like told us a whole lot of like. She didn't really like show her hand all that much, right?
No, she just kind of like put the other guy down, like the clown dude or whatever. Like, yeah, he was useless. So maybe you guys won't be useless.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was
the
right.
vibe.
She said there was a new vacancy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she.
Yeah, I'll give my brothers the rundown of what happened leading up to finding this information, because it's complete, like, from Xeryn's point of view, this is completely removed from Thrace and what happened there. But now hearing from someone's point of view that Dad had met with dementia, she's like, clearly this is connected. Now we have to go see this bitch.
Okay. We're gonna have to be real careful about this. I mean, what's your play here? Are you trying to see if you can get into good graces? And this is complicated.
It is complicated. My initial goals were to go back and behead now, but now I'm wondering if she's in connection with dementia right now and is getting aid from her with whatever this weapon is.
It's
I'm
quite
not
possible.
sure.
I mean, none of us can be certain. We haven't been there since this all happened.
I guess the only thing I can really think to do is to go to shitty space. I can't help it. I'm sorry, Michael. Let's go to shitty space.
Well,
What's that joke? A Critical Role joke where like they're always like taking Matthew Mercer's character, or like
Perv on.
NPC. And you gotta get your perv on.
well, Captain, you tell us where we're going. I promised that we would help, so you just point us in the direction.
Why don't we start getting ready to leave dock, and then I will give the group a full update on my end of things, since there's probably some information that is now relevant that I didn't realize was relevant, that you should all be privy to.
I'm just interested to know how they're going to use this dead god body and what they're harvesting and...
They're harvesting souls, apparently.
Oh.
Souls of an entire planet.
Oh my. How ambitious.
So, yeah, that's definitely something we should stop.
Yeah.
I will let you know, Captain, that I know I didn't fly good the last time, but now I can fly all night long.
How about once we get into wild space where there's less chance of you crashing it, and I take us out of here first?
I mean, I don't know if you know, but I was flying kick ship the whole time. Actually.
Under Kick's... Yeah, okay.
No, Kick wasn't watching me once I got the hang of it. I'm good now.
Okay. Well, I'm still flying us out of here.
Fine.
I think that's fair.
You can take over when I need to rest.
Like I said, I can fly it all night long. You just tell me what you want, you know?
Thank you, Cecil.
Does anyone need to get anything else from this lovely rock of Brawl before we depart?
Oh, Z, did you give me that spell component I needed that I gave you money for?
Yes.
Thank you.
Did I, Michael?
Of course.
Yes. Here you go, Cecil, and I'll hand them the spell component.
Yes.
Is our ship all
It was
like...
their last one.
Wow.
Wow.
I didn't even had one, honestly.
Our ship is fully stocked and everything, right? Or do we need to still do that?
Yeah. It'd be
Okay.
fully stocked. Yeah.
I just look at my brothers. Do you guys need anything before we leave?
They both look at one another, and Solon just shakes his head no, and Kai looks at you and says, "Everything we got, it's on us."
All right. I will head to the Spelljammer Hell.
Okay.
Hey Michael, I'm gonna cast mage armor into my ring to reach 5 slots.
All right.
Counter spell. No, I'm just joking.
Counter spell. Very nice. Yeah, totally. You can put so you know you have all 5 of your slots filled in for your ring.
Yes, I do. Now it's all
Alright.
full.
Perfect. All right, and you guys pull out from the dry dock, and Xeryn, this vessel is definitely much improved from the last time that you guys had commandeered it. Not only in look, but also in its just as you kind of attune yourself to that spell jamming helm, you can just kind of get that tingling sensation all over your body as you just sense this whole vessel and everything around it. And you feel pretty confident and pretty happy about the investment that you made in selling your father's old spell jamming helm in order to be able to put it into this one to make something that could be your own. And you guys pull
worth
out.
it.
Yeah, hashtag worth it. That's right.
Hey, Big Bro Z, I need to talk to you, like, in private.
You guys are muted.
There's
You guys
weird
broke
things
me.
happening.
Sorry. No, what's up? Actually, hold on. While everybody's here, and Cecil, we can go off here in a second, so we can talk. I also have. I spent my time yesterday or earlier today in the Mage's Tower, learning how to make this, and I hold out a bag, and we can put whatever we want to put in here. It's a bag of holding. So we have a bag of holding now.
Can I go in there?
You can. I would not recommend it though.
Oh wait, sorry. For clarity, am I with the rest of the group or am I still downstairs? I'm with the rest of the group.
You are with us because I wanted everyone to be present for the
Just-
conversation I was
just so
having with
I
my
know.
brothers.
Just so I know
Yeah.
where I'm at. Yeah, okay.
Also, because you missed it, Xeryn did say after we get into Wild Space, she wants to hold like a group meeting with the important people, not the cultists. The cultists can stay away. They don't need to know.
Fuck the cultists. We don't need them.
They don't need to know. It's fine. So yeah, you were with the group because I wanted everyone to be on the same page.
Okay.
I'm at the helm.
Yeah, I just wanted everybody to know if we need to put things in, like, it can hold up to, I think, 200 or 300 pounds. I have to look it up again. But
I could fit in the bag.
You can get that way. I don't need that.
We both could probably fit in the bag.
That would, well, I mean, you don't really weigh anything,
Okay.
so I guess
No,
technically.
we're not putting anybody in the bag because you can't
I'm
breathe in the
just
bag. It's
saying
500
I could.
I can hold my breath for a long time.
Technically, me and my brothers don't need to breathe.
And we're not putting people in the bag of holding.
Okay, I was just saying I could, not that I would.
We don't want that to. We don't want that. Oh, anyways, it's here. If anybody needs to put anything in it, it will be staying on me though. Hopefully, you understand.
Also, they have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 batches of cookies that have been finished that are downstairs right now.
I will have to grab me some. Yes.
So, maybe eat them before they go.
Okay. Yes.
I made a lot of cookies.
I will eat a lot of cookies. Cecil, you said you wanted to go off and talk.
Yeah, I can hold my breath for an hour, by the way. Just want to
We're
let
not
you know
putting
that.
anybody in the bag of holding.
Yeah.
While you guys were all together talking about this, and when Xeryn said what she said, and now Cecil's like talking about holding his breath, Xeryn's younger brother Caesius is looking at you guys. He's like,
Hello.
look,
Hello,
I think
I'm
it'd be kind
Cleo.
of cool. I think it'd be kind of cool if you need a volunteer. I really don't need to breathe.
No. If anybody's going in that bag, it's going to be me, okay?
We are not putting anybody in this bag of holding because I don't want
Wait.
it to break.
Did we do introductions yet? I'm Cleo. Who are you?
Oh, Caesius.
I see it. Hello.
This is my big brother Solon.
Solon. Hello.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Like, look, I'm
You can have
saying,
cookies too because you are with Xeryn.
Great. I'll take some cookies.
all I'm going to do is turn into a blob, and I'm probably prime candidate for the bag.
I mean, it's allowed.
It can't have any. It can only have items in it. No people can go inside the bag. I'm sorry. It just instantly kills you.
I don't think that's true.
I'd be willing to take the risk.
No.
Okay, we're gonna. All right, Cecil, lead the way.
Caesius looks at you, Zalath, with like a.
I mean, technically, Cecil's not people.
Yeah.
Everybody
Kinda is
can
though.
definitely tell he's lying. All right, it's not. It's
I'm
very
technically
obvious.
not a people.
Not a
Well,
people.
I mean, he's going to eventually do it, whether you're there when he does it or not, right?
Well, if you do it while no one else is there, Cecil, you will get trapped in there, and we won't know. So, I would suggest not doing that.
I left a note.
Oh,
Again,
you can get trapped in there.
If the bag closes, then you can't open it from the inside. You're in another whole space.
Okay, count me out then. Caesius turns around and walks away.
What if somebody went into it and then they couldn't get out? Can they just cut a hole in it and climb?
Yes, but that technically would work, but it would break and it would like spit everything else out also. And I have a lot of weapons in there currently, so you might get impaled on the way out.
But aren't you concerned if you have weapons in the bag that they'll just rip it from the inside?
No, because a lot of my I shouldn't have said impaled. Most of them are blunted weapons.
Yeah, so then we don't have a problem.
Well, no, they would bludgeon you.
To show them where the cookies are.
All right, lead the way.
Yeah.
After we get cookies, I need to talk to you.
Well, I was just gonna show Caesius and Solid. Well, mostly Caesius because he said he wanted cookies.
Oh,
Like,
okay,
somebody
okay.
needs to
No,
eat
they
these cookies.
they both go. They're
I was
both
like,
happy for
somebody
cookies.
needs to eat these cookies. I'm gonna take you guys to the kitchen.
Yeah, they're with you 100%.
Cecil, I'll get cookies afterwards. Lead the way to where you want to have this conversation.
Somewhere private for sure. There's lots of cultists here, and
Don't worry, the cultists are meditating currently on their holy mission, and if they leave that room, then they will be in big trouble. So you shouldn't see any of them at all.
one of them talked to me, by the way. Anyways, we're leaving.
What did they look like?
No, I can't tell you that. I just wanted you to know. You can go talk to them if you want.
Cecil, don't make me read your mind. Just tell me what they look like.
You won't read my mind.
I will.
You
I
won't.
can and I will. I've done it to others. I did it to all of you a few days ago when we were in the Rock of Brawl. I just didn't probe. So you should just tell me who you saw outside of the room.
Wasn't there two outside of the room? I think there was
No, there was
two,
one.
but I stopped one to talk to them.
It was just one
It
that
was
came
just
in
the one?
to complain about my cookies.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
They
I'm
came to
gonna tell
complain
them
about the
to-
yelling because they were trying to meditate.
No, they were complaining that the cookies smelled good and they wanted me to
Yeah.
shut the door so they couldn't smell them anymore.
They're
Oh.
fasting.
They were complaining about.
They're trying to fast, and
I
you're
just
down the hall
rewatched
cooking
Cobra
delicious cookies.
yesterday, so
They were complaining about Cleo's cookies, and they wanted us to close the door to the kitchen because it smelled too good and was too tempting. And then we told them we didn't want to close the door, and they closed the door for us anyway. And then
Well, then that's all right.
had a whole conversation with me afterwards. But that's neither here nor there. I need to go talk to Big Bro Z, okay? That's an important mission.
We keep getting distracted. Let's go. I will follow wherever Cecil leads.
We're going to Cecil's room. Cecil's new special room.
Cool.
Okay.
Goes in the door, and then I'm going to put a blanket down at the crack of the door so people can't hear.
isn't it right next to my room?
Yes.
I
Okay.
think it's.
I'm not in my room right now, but
Z,
Yes.
I'm really, really sorry.
About.
I may have accidentally sort of kind of let the secret out, but it wasn't because I meant to. I thought you had already told her that you liked her, and you didn't.
Well, I mean, I was hoping that. I thought I did. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, what did you do? What happened?
I gave her the necklace that I was working on.
But did you say anything, or did you just?
Well, I said it was for her, and it was a picture of me and her, and then on the other side it was a picture of me, you, her.
And you didn't say like
Uh,
that you liked her, or
I guess not. No.
see? Okay. So I may have told her that you like her, and she's currently having an existential crisis because she thinks it's actually a going away gift, and that we're leaving her. So you might just want to go like talk to her and let her know like your actual feelings, and not try to let the item speak for you. Even though the item's really cool and really, really, really sweet,
Mm-hmm.
I think you just need to. I think you need to go talk to her.
I will. Yes, I will do that.
Because she has been, and I think she's going to keep baking cookies. She hasn't stopped.
you're not wrong. She's literally baking more cookies.
I will
You
go
guys
talk.
speak.
Thank you, Cecil.
Yeah. Also, just so you know, I can stay awake all night now. So I will watch your back for any sort of creepy nighttime monsters.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. I don't have to wear my armor anymore.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah. I mean,
Why?
technically, I am wearing my armor right now.
No, you're not.
We'll
You're naked.
we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I'm gonna go talk to Cleo.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna give him a little pat on the head.
I turn into a slime, a blob.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll head to wherever Cleo is. I'm assuming the kitchen or whatever we have.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kitchen with the brothers. Yes.
Yeah, first thing you do notice is when you head down, like, there's a large chamber, like the biggest chamber on this second floor has a couple of tables and stools and chairs that you can pull up to the tables to eat. And you can see that the brothers are kind of sitting at one of those tables, and they are just stuffing their faces with these cookies.
Yeah, I think she put the cookies on the tables, and she's back in the kitchen baking.
And you don't even have to make insight checks to know that these two individuals are probably used to getting whatever they want most of the time, whenever it's probably brought to them on a silver platter, where they don't have to make much of an effort to go get to it.
Okay.
And you can probably tell that it's been quite a while since they've were able to, kind of enjoy, having this kind of stuff.
Hope you're enjoying the cookies as I walk past, and I'm not even gonna wait for their answer, and I'm just going to the kitchen. Cleo?
Yeah, Cleo's got like flour all over her already again, like on her face and like her arms and stuff. And she's got mixing bowls and ingredients all, and the kitchen is a mess at this point. Yes, what's up? What's going on? You're
It
not
has
wearing your
brought
armor.
My attention
You're-
that I did not do a good job explaining the gift. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's what Xeryn said.
Yes, I'm not going anywhere, and
Good.
Caesar's not going anywhere. At least I don't think he's going anywhere.
He said it's not.
Yeah. No, that was kind of. How do I say this?
You don't have to
It's
say
more-
anything.
I was saying that I appreciate you. You are amazing. And I just wanted to give you the necklace. And
It's you.
um
You're that's really sweet. Thank you.
I also I
Can you hand me the peanut butter?
sure, yeah, of course.
I fall over some stuff in the hallway because I'm trying to listen.
Thank you.
I also oh god, I've never done this before. I kind of
Baking cookies? Well, no, I don't.
I've actually never baked cookies before either. No, but that's no. I can't. I like you.
I like you too. We're best friends.
A little more than friends. I like you more than friends.
Hmm.
You see that he goes really red, and so I just wanted to like let you know that what the necklace actually was for. I'm gonna go now though.
No,
All right.
no, go. Okay. I mean, if you want to go, I guess.
It just feels awkward, and I.
Zalath,
Okay.
the minute you turn around to try to start walking out that door like that, you see both Solon and Caesius are standing there in the door like this.
under
Like
them,
leaning.
I'm in the doorway too, but behind them, in my slime like blob form, but I have two little arms coming out of it with thumbs up.
You got this. What are you doing?
What? I did it.
Cleo has completely stopped. Like, she's not doing anything anymore.
We're supposed
Here,
Take this cookie.
I'm
Take this
okay.
cookie for confidence.
he grabs your shoulders. Well, more like this. he grabs your shoulders.
Are we doing Are we doing a huddle? I want to be a part of it. I'm gonna come back into my normal size, and I put my hands on them too.
I look back at Cleo. I don't know what's happening.
So right now there's a huddle. Zalath
not
right out the
facing-
doorway
She's
with
facing like the
Solon
opposite
and
direction.
Caesius and Cecil, and they're all in this huddle. And it's like the camera shot goes down below all of them, and it's like pointed up, and you can see all their faces like surrounding around the view.
Cleo's not facing them. She's facing the other direction towards like the oven.
Listen, that was a good
You-
start. You can do this.
Yeah.
What is going on? I'm sorry. What is going on? Why are you all in my kitchen?
Cleo, hold on! You're interrupting the huddle.
Confused too.
Caesius looks
One
at you guys.
second.
I think she can hear what we're saying.
Yeah, she's very good at hearing things. Yes.
You guys
Well,
are
we are
standing
standing
like 5
right
feet
in front
away
of the doorway.
from.
That's true. Yeah.
I think you all should just go.
Please leave, except Zalaz, you can stay.
Yeah, I think you all should just go. We'll bring you more cookies out here in a little bit.
All right, fine, Mom.
Here, you can take this one back. I don't.
Wait,
want it.
Cecil, why are you a puzzle?
Caesius reaches out and grabs it.
Did
I'm not
something
a puddle
happen?
anymore. I'm not a puddle anymore.
Oh, okay.
To join the huddle, I had to get big.
Oh, right. Okay.
No.
All right.
Caesius and Solon, they walk down the hall and they leave. They were asked to leave, so they do so.
You should probably close the door or they're going to come back in.
I'm gonna back away from the door, but I'm gonna point at Zalana, and I'm gonna do like the kissy thing with my hands, you know. And I'm
Cecil,
gonna
I
thumbs
can
up.
see you.
Caesar,
I'm running now. Now that she said she can see me, I'm running down the hallway.
I think Cecil just said he just offered to kiss me.
I mean, if that's what you want to do, I guess you should
No, I
do
do
it.
not really.
Okay.
All right,
Will you stay?
sure. I will stay.
Okay, because I feel better when you're here.
Okay. Well, then I will stay. Yes, I'll help you cook. Even though I'm not good at cooking, I will help you bake cookies.
What did you mean?
What?
You said that no, you know what you said.
Yes. Sort of. I said it. What?
I'm just a little confused because
I would like to stay with you forever, so we don't have to separate.
I mean, okay, of course, yeah, that's good, but that's not, I think, what you're saying, right? That's not all of what you're saying.
No. Okay, it's like
I
it's
need
like,
you to say
it's
the
like
thing
how-
that you're
it's
trying
like
to
how
say.
a captain feels about their ship.
Mm-mm.
Oh, not women are objects.
No, captains love their
You see,
ship.
Cleo actually sort of like hops up on the counter and like starts swinging her feet a little bit and is just looking at you. But she goes, I just would like you to actually say what you're trying to say in like the most straightforward way possible.
I like you.
Mm-mm. No, that's not what you're trying to say, I think.
Cecil, make a stealth
It's
check,
another
please.
L word with 4 letters.
And you can say it. And you should say it.
I've never said that before though.
Do I
That's
have or
not
do I
true
not
because
have to
you
try
told
to-
me you've been in love before.
That's true, but I never said that.
Why?
I don't think you do.
Okay, it's a
It doesn't
10.
work. Okay, I'll try.
Because I love you.
I love you too.
Good.
Yes. More than friends though.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Again, his
You
face
should
is extremely red.
Probably kiss me now.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
I'm right. I'm at the right height for it and everything.
You are. Yeah. I would have to bend over really far if
Mhm.
you... Okay, yeah, I'm okay.
I did that on purpose.
Yeah.
So, in sharing in that moment, you guys also hear this strange noise
Oh
from the
no.
door. It sounds like something just like stuck to the door and then peeled off.
Cecil, if you want to come in, you probably should just come in the
I'm
room.
already down the hallway now.
Well, Zalat, I hope you understand that's probably going to be the rest of our lives.
Yes, I understand that.
Because I think Cecil is also going to stay with us, and I'm good with that.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine with me.
Cecil's like, I know what happens after the kissing happens, and I don't want to be here for that.
Wow.
She's going to set, her stuff aside. So, what do we do now?
I think
I know what happens in the books.
Well, oh. Okay, sure.
I wish I could turn off my camera right now, and I can't. If you want to.
This is like early Critical Role where everybody's like hiding behind their scarves and their shirts. Yeah.
Cecil's like ushering everybody away from the kitchen. Like all of the cultists, he's like, you guys have to leave.
I think they're going to a bedroom, you guys. I think they're going to a bedroom. They're not going to stay in the kitchen.
Yeah, that's a little insane.
Probably is the last because she's
Cecil, why are you pushing me? I want some more cookies.
No.
Cleo comes out of the kitchen like, that's it, those are the cookies. Sorry guys. She's gonna head towards the last room.
All right.
Good. Yeah.
So Cleo and Zalath
Yeah, we retire
close
for
the door.
evening.
Retire
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
evening. What
Oh
about
my
the rest of you?
Cecil needs a distraction. I'm gonna go to the captain.
Okay. Cecil approaches the captain, who is in the spelljamming helm, guiding the ship.
Yep.
Hey, Captain.
What's up, Cecil?
I think that my friends are doing book stuff, and I would like to not have to think about that. So could I just drive?
I like turn in my chair. Say again?
I told Zalath that he needed to be more straightforward, and he was.
Oh, well, at least that's finally done and over with. We've been dancing around each other for like all week.
Yeah.
Why do you want to drive the ship? Why is that a problem? I thought you'd be happy. You don't have to keep a secret anymore.
Well, I am happy, but also, like, I don't want to be anywhere else on the ship now. Right now, specifically. Because, like, the only other place that I'd be is my room, and that's too close. So...
Right. I see. So they're busy right now?
I take out one of my books and I put it in your hands.
I'm well aware of what happens in these books. I didn't even need to read the book to know. I hand the book back. It's just I had a meeting in like an hour.
I don't think you're gonna get to that meeting.
Hour? It'll be in an hour. You'll probably be fine in an hour.
All right, well,
According to these books, like...
I need you at the meeting too, Cecil.
Okay. I mean, I can drive and then, like, stop.
Yeah, that's kind of was my plan. I was planning to try and get us to a safe spot to, like, hover for a while, just so I can get everybody on the same page before we continue on to shitty space.
What is a shitty space?
I don't know. I've never been.
Oh, okay. I was trying to find more pickup lines actually, but I haven't found any.
Yeah, how's that going?
I was trying to find vampire-specific ones,
Okay.
but I'm having some trouble.
Mm,
Too spicy.
you know what? Yeah, go talk to my brothers. I'm sure they have something stupid for you.
Maybe. Or maybe they will. They're pretty good at this.
Yes, they are, unfortunately.
We have a huddle. That means we're like all good friends now.
You had a huddle with my brothers.
And Z, yeah.
Still can't believe they're alive. Been a day.
I mean, it's pretty easy to believe. They're right here, so like in front of you, talking.
No, that's not what I mean. I mean, yeah, they're here, they're tangible, but they've been dead in my heart for months. It's just, I'm having a hard time adjusting those feelings.
Well, it's okay, Captain. I'm gonna put my hand on your shoulder. I believe in you, and I think you have a wonderful heart, and you just don't get time to express that. And yeah, so I think you should be very happy that they're here, and go enjoy them while you can. And I'll take over driving, and I'll find somewhere nice just to park the ship.
All right, I'll stand up.
Okay.
Are you sure you got this?
Uh-huh.
Cecil.
I'm 100% sure I got this.
Thank you.
No problem.
I will go find my brothers.
Okay.
And she leaves the room. I do a little dance of excitement. Settle myself and drive the ship.
Excellent.
If you hadn't said hey, your brothers are here, you should probably go spend time with them, she wasn't gonna let you do that. But you gave her a reason to.
Oh yeah.
Rayla, what would you be doing while all this is taking place?
I see. Grayla kind of realizes that everybody is off, doing their own thing or is busy with other people, so she will go spend time with her followers, and
Okay.
so there's they each have a little is this a nickname in the parentheses?
Yes.
You
would know being astral elf that it's an astral elf thing. You're given these nicknames.
Okay.
It's just another name, kind of like how halflings have a ton of names, or gnomes have a bunch of the middle names that just go. It's kind of one of those types of things.
Yeah, so Rayla's just gonna tell them basically everything that she has found out about how there's somebody that we believe is using the body of a dead god to harvest entire planetary a planet's worth of souls, and that that power does not belong in the hands of non-believers, and so we have to put a stop to them, and that these are the chosen few who will be on this crusade. And so I'm just telling them that it's gonna be a really tough fight ahead, but through their dedication all will be made right in the name of the Infinity Gate kind of thing.
Okay. So you're doing this little encouragement slash sermon as you're down there
Yeah.
talking to your followers. Oh, I
Yeah,
love
basically.
it. What is this? Is this a threatening dark power? I mean, couldn't this be something that could be utilized?
Well, that's exactly the point. We have to take this power from the hands of those who don't deserve it.
Right. How are we going to do it?
Well, that remains to be seen. I'm waiting for a vision. I'm waiting for enlightenment to come to me for how we will do this. But I think once we have taken control of this power that is rightfully ours, then it will help us when the time comes for me to shepherd all souls to the Infinity Gate. This is so evil.
You can tell just like looking at they're enthralled, like they are just invested. You have them convinced that they are on the front lines of this shepherding to the Infinity Gate.
Yeah.
And they're just all in. And one of them's like looking at you and says, "We are so blessed and lucky that we were able to be in this spot, to see you, to find you." And they all start kind of like bowing in the cargo hold. That they kind of have set up like a little shrine down there. They started moving some of the crates and boxes into positions and
Yeah. Now, while we are aboard this ship, you must remember that there are external forces that will try to tempt you. And they will try to have you act in a way that is not befitting of a member of this cabal. And I just want you all to know that I can see into your minds. And if anybody should act in a way that does not represent our group in the best possible light, well, unfortunately, this mission is only for those with the most discipline. And if you cannot be disciplined and you cannot act exactly as our tenets command, then unfortunately, their punishment will have to be doled out.
The one that seems to be kind of like doing most of the talking, this individual, I think you pronounce it Ossian Whisper Spear. Yeah. Basically like looks around and he gets this like very confident look on his face and looks at all the rest of the people that are standing there. It's like, did you hear those words? Did you hear them? Did they resonate deep within your heart? And he starts giving this like very like confident and a speech to the rest of them. Minds should be focused. We are deeply rooted and devoted. We follow the key, the dark star, the one who will guide us to the end. I can't keep it together. I'm sorry. I can't play a cultist.
After he gives his speech, Rayla will like kind of give him, like the teacher hug, like the like you can't you do like the one arm. She gives him kind of like that, and just like looks at him and like looks at the rest of them, and it's just like, oh, hold on, what is it? All of you have a very high bar to surpass here in Whisper Spear. All of you should know that he is the pinnacle of behavior and devotion for one of my followers, and one who has been chosen to lead all souls into the Infinity Gate. And so, should you be able to behave
as you're
like
saying
him,
this, you can catch a glimpse of a tear welling up in his eye.
He's like, behave as Whisper Spear does, and you will be showered with infinite blessings and a place of the highest leadership as we march onward towards eternity. Now, everybody, I just get that. I'm like, okay, you all have like leisure. They've got like leisure time now, but I want to take Whisper Sphere off to the side.
Okay. And immediately, like, you can see, like, he's still kind of elated that you've put your hands on his arm. Like,
Yeah.
that is like a big thing for him.
Yeah. Whisper Sphere. I wonder if you would act as my eyes and my ears in times where I perhaps am focused on this holy mission.
Oh, my senses are so weak in compared to yours, though.
That is true, but you can act as an extension of my own power, and together we can be more powerful than either of us individually. That is what it means to be part of this organization. We combine all of our power, and through my leadership, we're all greater.
Right, yes, of course. When you
Yes.
rest your hand upon my arm, I just felt just a bit of your power. It seemed to be just resonating all from around you. Oh, mighty one who leads us to the gate.
I am going to. I feel like this is gonna also. I don't. This might make him go bananas too. I'm gonna telepathic speech with him because I don't want the others to hear this, and I want it to be a private conversation between he and I. And I will say, you must be wary of the slime. He acts just in a capricious fashion with no discipline, and he seeks only to wreak havoc and sow discord, particularly for anything that pertains to myself, and by extension, all of you. Should you see him engaging with any of my followers, you must help me shield them from him. Report to me at once.
Yes, our majestic dark star, you hear in your mind as he's talking back. I will make sure the slime does not cause us any harm or problems, and disrupt any plans that you might have.
I thank you for your dedication, and it is noted.
Yeah, you hear another saying in your mind. And earlier, I sent a few out while we were attempting to fast. I must apologize in advance, my star, but it seems the slime and one of the other followers were trying to distract us while we were trying to focus on our fasting. By allowing the aroma of delicious cookies to creep throughout this vessel.
Well,
We did nothing wrong.
discipline is worth nothing if there is no temptation for you to fight against. The whole point of fasting is to prove that you are stronger than the needs of your mortal body. For one day, you will not have this body, and you will be eternal. So you must strengthen yourself in the meantime.
I fear the slime was doing it on purpose.
Oh, he most certainly was. But you all must strengthen your resolve against him and the temptations that he shall surely present to you and the rest of my followers.
Cecil is now Lucifer in their pantheon.
I love that I always end up in this character role. Every time I play with Michael. Between Vix and Cecil, man, it's always me.
These cultists' new mantra is beware the slime.
You are correct, Dark Star. I apologize, and I'm gracious for we are graceful and gracious for your mercy. Thank you so much for everything that you bestowed upon us. We will do better.
I know you will. For I have faith in the power that has chosen us. And I like will let him. He can go off and have like leisure time. They're just like basically just chilling. They're just allowed to be chilling. And then I think Rayla just like basks. She's just sitting back, like maybe like filing her nails or just like because she's basically like before. I think she would have been like a lot of the time only been like seated like in like a little throne and like not really allowed to like leave and like even like talking to people was kind of limited, so she's just like gonna sit and kind of like observe everybody and like see, you know, what are they up to, what's the vibe, see if anybody's acting out or having thoughts that go against our teachings.
Right, you got it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that Rayla has a
And
whole group of
literally-
cultists on her
I
vessel.
literally feel like I'm living in the cult of the lamb.
Hold on, that's all I'm thinking when we do this is cult of the lamb.
That's all I wanted from this character.
So, Xeryn, you are going to look for your brothers.
Yeah.
And it's not too hard to find them because they end up finding you.
Oh.
And as you kind of come out of the bridge there, they kind of meet you up on the top deck as they are holding what's left over of some cookies downstairs. And hey sis, hey, we got kicked out from downstairs.
What'd you do? I steal a cookie.
Well, those are the last few. We ate them all.
Wow.
6
They
cookies.
ate all of the fucking cookies.
It's okay, I have a bowl that I
I
haven't
mean,
finished.
they are freaking princes. They don't care. They're not gonna share if no one's around. That's why I steal the cookie.
Caesius looks at you and he's like, well, they kept on putting them out there. I was hungry.
You do realize we have other people on the ship, right?
I'm sorry.
This isn't court. We don't have an abundance of resources right now.
I don't need to breathe, but I gotta eat.
You will be fed in moderation. They're called rations, Caesius.
Yes. Rations, Caesius. And Solon takes one of the cookies and, like, breaks it over his head. Seems like you got a pretty good crew here.
They are stabilizing.
They're fun.
They are fun, but they're not well trained, or trained at all, really. But they are resourceful and powerful in their own ways. At first, they were just useful. But I think they're more than that now.
You've taken quite well to leading them. From what
What I was trained to
observed.
do.
Well,
You have to adapt. They're not warriors, they're people.
I think the ooze specifically said he wasn't a people. He did yell that, I think.
Cecil... I don't even know what he is. He's a pain in my ass most days.
Hey, like you, Caesius.
Funny that.
Shut up. He's still pulling a cookie out of his hair. It's all this-
Oh, God.
Listen, I just want to apologize again
What for?
for how all this worked out. I know you're right. We shouldn't have been hiding in the shadows so long. I just, you know, our training. We don't just jump into things.
No, I know. That was my emotions getting the better of me. You are the crown prince. if anything were to actually happen to you, you needed to stay underground. I get it.
You know, I've been wanting to talk to you about that.
About what?
The whole Prince stuff.
Right. What about
What if I don't want to be?
it? What do you mean you don't want to be? You want to leave it to Caesius?
He laughs.
Yeah.
No.
What do you mean
Just-
this is all you've been working for? What are you talking about?
I know. And I watched Dad do it too. And look what happened to him.
Dad. She was good at manipulating him. But we all saw it. It wouldn't have happened to you. That's one thing about our father. Part of it was his own downfall. He didn't listen.
Still trying to figure out what he saw in her.
I'm not sure. My assumption I saw him shortly after Mom passed. He was crying, someone. I've never seen him that broken before.
Are you
He
joking?
hit it really fucking well, but when she came around, it was like something else.
I didn't think that man even knew if tears existed.
Me neither. That's why when he insisted on now, I didn't fight it as hard as I wanted to. And I let it slide. But I should have trusted my gut. I think he was just... He would never say it, but I think he just wanted to feel something again. That's my guess. He would never... We'll never know. We'll never fucking know. He's dead. He can't tell us why. But I want to assume that he had his reasons that he thought were valid. Because if not, then our father was a bumbling idiot that let our planet fall. I think he's smarter than that. Or I did. I don't know.
Sis, what do you think we should do?
Well, let's go back to you saying you don't want it. What's the plan if we get Thracia back? Like, what? Who leads? It can't be her.
Well, we gotta take care of that before we can plan anything else now, can we?
What do you want to do? If best case scenario happens, what do you want? Or is it just what you don't want?
about what I don't want.
Well, you say you don't want to do the prince thing. Technically, you're king.
I don't want to see her ruling.
I think we all are on agreement on that front.
I do want people to know that I still exist. But I don't think I can be that person.
Well, why don't we take it one day at a time then, until you figure out what exactly you want to be. We need to secure Thrace before we can even figure out what to do. But I think you being known to still be alive, if we could somehow get word back to the planet, even if it's not at the capital, there has to be people that want true rulership, not tyranny. It's not a bad idea. I'll think about it.
That's a start. Good thinking.
First, we should find out what Dementia knows and how closely tied she is with Nell, because if they're allies, that could be a problem. If word gets back to her before it gets back to the people.
Well, for now, we'll stick together. We'll make it happen.
Do you know whose bodies they used? Or were you guys already gone?
I don't know.
It was a mess. An absolute mess. I just assumed. They had them in your beds.
Yeah, I kind of figured they would, cover all their bases.
Right. Well, I'm glad you beat me to the punch, because I was coming to excavate you from the palace, but I thought I was late.
No, we, like I said, if it weren't for Caesius, we wouldn't have got out of there, but...
Yeah, how? I look at Kai like, what? How?
I was just snooping around doing what I do.
Is this the part where you tell me cutting training was worth it?
Might have been a couple of those times.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Caesius.
It's just good to see you again, sis.
Yeah, me too. I will.
As Cecil is opening and closing the bridge door behind you guys several times for some reason.
What the? Yeah,
My roll 20 was frozen, so
we don't have to roleplay it, but I think that's the reminder for Xeryn to be like, oh, I should give you the rundown on these people. So I feel like Xeryn would give the rundown to her brothers on each of the party members. Not so much the cultists. She'll give the context on why Rayla has cultists and what's up with her.
Yeah.
So she wants them to be on the same page so they're well aware of who she's dealing with and who she's working with. So they know the type of skills they have. So if they have ideas on how to use their skills to our benefit, she wants them to know what she knows.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, because they'll mention a couple things from the time when you guys were at the Rock of Brawl. They seemed to know exactly where you guys were the entire time. And they talk about how they saw you guys walk up to a bunch of street performers, and how Rayla must be incredibly perceptive to be able to see somebody casting spells from around a corner, and she went up and approached and stuff like that. So they seem to know a little bit about your group already from just because of the training they're taught.
The play is the real question that I have.
They were outside. They were not inside.
So they did not see the performance that Cecil put on.
Yeah, they did not get to see that, but they were outside and they saw some they talked about the people that walked up to you guys to talk to you in line and stuff, and how they did go and and follow those guys a little bit, and they were those guys were really elated about this whole conversation that you guys had. But then you guys never went back to meet him again, so...
Yeah, I think I would fill in the gaps of the adventure so far. They tell me what they know, and I'll fill in the gaps for them so that they're completely up to speed.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have probably, I would say, 8 days of travel here that you guys are going to kind of expend through. You guys can tell me if you have... specific things that you want to do in these 8 days. We can always time jump and move to a spot where something happens, or I'm going to leave that up to you guys, because really this is kind of travel / downtime, so it's your choice how you foresee your characters wanting to, and it doesn't have to be even something that we role play out. You can just say, during this time I want to do this, this, and this, make sure that they know this, or stuff like that.
I have one thing which we don't need to role play or anything. This is information that I guess we don't really need to have a meeting realizing what's happening with Zalath and Cleo. At some point, every single one of my party members is going to hear parts of Xeryn's backstory, which I will just copy paste what I sent to Michael. That's what you all know.
That's literally pretty much it. That's all there is.
Yeah, for stream's sake, she's from the planet Thracia. The capital city is Thrace. Her dad was King Atreus Nerys. You've met her brother Solon and Caesius. All presumed dead. She was framed for their murders by her stepmother / her loyalists. Her stepmother is Naliyima. We've been calling her Nal, or just bitch. And she has taken over the planet and is currently ruling from the capital city of Thrace. She also explains that when she got wind of their imminent murders, she was trying to get to her brothers. She found mutilated bodies in their beds, and so she stole her dad's ship, one of her dad's better ships, and left. Barely escaping. I'm pretty sure she was wounded on the way out, but she got out. And that is all I sent Michael. That's all he knew.
Zalath will express his apologies upon hearing the news and stuff like that, and sorry for your loss, that kind of stuff, So.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, at least for the king, in my mind, he was literally stabbed to death and then beheaded for good measure. And she was one of the first people to find that body, and because she ran to him, she had his blood all over him, or all over herself, so that did not look good. Well, yeah, that's what she tells you all at some point during the travels. You guys get the down low on why Xeryn wants an army and why she needs help. Why she really needs help.
Perfect.
No, sorry. Cleo's dad is, should tell you her dad is gone too, but he died of old age. So,
Mm, yeah, considering our race is a little bit longer lived, he died pretty young.
yeah.
Well, I never met my father, but I would be more than happy to help you avenge yours. I have always wanted to overthrow a monarch. I think that would be an interesting activity to engage in.
I have the perfect bitch for that.
A little bit of regicide on the side of saving the multiverse.
Yeah, I would very much like the multiverse not to be destroyed. Eventually, probably I'd like to go back home, although I still don't know how. So originally, when I got here, I sort of just followed a person in my dreams, and then I was here, and so I don't know how to get back. Because they haven't shown up again. I mean, they took me another place before they took me here, but they haven't shown up since, and it's been like 1,000 years. So, I don't know if they ever will. But eventually, I'd like to go back home.
Well, if we ever retake the capital city, you are all welcome to stay until you find your way.
Thank you for the offer.
I'm sure after the loss of your monarch, there will be many of your citizens who have lost their way and need a bit of guidance, and I would be more than happy to provide that to them. Anyway.
I'm sure you would, Rayla. I'm sure you would.
Oh, no. I think we're more of the traveling sort, but, you know, I can always come visit and stuff.
I will BRB, but just assume she's gonna take over the helm for a little bit, get Rex Cecil. I need to BRB, I need food.
You got it.
No, wait.
See, so it's okay.
I guess this is a good time. I did want to talk to Rayla at some point.
Okay. Yeah, go
But,
for it.
probably like at a point where Rayla's like winding down. She's like dropping the I'm the cult leader mentality for a moment.
She never dropped that mentality.
Yeah, I was gonna say you might be waiting for a long time there, Cecil.
Well, maybe not fully dropping it, but like, I'm sure you're not fully thinking about that while you're about to like lay down to sleep or something. And then I'll like just come knock on your door to your room, I guess.
Who is it?
It's me, it's Cecil.
What do you want?
Can I come in?
Why?
I would like to talk to you.
About what?
Well, it's hard to talk to you through a door.
I'll use my little hair mage hand to like pull open the door. Yes.
Hi. How are you doing?
What?
How are you doing? How's it going?
What is this?
I'm gonna. Can I come in? Can I come into your room? Can I just? Can we just have a talk?
You may for now.
All right, great. I'll walk in. Like pull a chair over, I guess.
I feel like Rayla was like probably just starting her trance, so she's like still levitating in the air and like sitting like crisscross applesauce, but she will like lower down.
Your hair looks great today.
Right.
So it has come to my attention that you have had a sort of sheltered life, comparatively, which isn't a bad thing. But you never really actually like had friends like the real way, and I know like you're not probably worried about it or anything, but I would just, like to extend the hand of friendship to you, and I could maybe show you, uh, like how to like actually be friends with people and not use them for cult reasons.
Well, but what is the point of having friends if they don't do things for you?
Well, you
I
have
mean, why would
people
you want
that
to keep people around you if they're not going to give you what you want?
because you get the opportunity to see different perspectives and ideologies, and you have people that you can rely on when you need someone to talk to, because sometimes it's not always great to have somebody who's just going to say yes to you all the time.
Cecil, with all due respect, some people may need somebody else to talk to, and some people are the person that everybody else goes to talk to. You may be the
Right.
former, but I am the latter.
I understand. I understand. I'm just saying the door's open for you if you want to walk through it.
Are you going to use your pickup lines on me?
I'm not.
Well, you are correct. I have had attendance, I have followers, but I would say the closest thing I've ever had to a friend is the captain, and really it's more I kind of forced her to serve me, um, and to do as I say and take me places because I had never left my temple before. Um, but it is acquiring different perspectives and experiences is quite interesting. That is why I left.
Right, right. And I think we're also very similar in the idea that we come from somewhere where we didn't get to learn a whole lot of stuff. And I, I understand that from your perspective, you are used to the need of people needing to be like used for something and that being their only primary reason for requirement, I guess. I don't really know. But
Well, of course they exist to be used because I have a purpose that I was born to carry out. Some people's destiny is to become, I don't know, a farmer or whatever you're doing with the sticks and the fish. But some
fishing,
people's
fishing.
destiny is to create a new reality.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, 100%. But also, like, when you're making that new reality, like, sometimes you might get a little bit overwhelmed. And uh, rather than keeping that to yourself, you could express whatever you're feeling to someone else who could.
A leader cannot be overwhelmed.
That's not true. That's statistically not true at all.
But if I'm overwhelmed, then my followers would lose faith in me.
That's not true.
Yes,
I
it is.
promise you, I will always have faith in you as not a follower, but as a friend.
May I set a few conditions if we are going to engage in this friendship arrangement?
I mean, so how that would work is we would have to agree on the conditions, but sure.
Leave my followers alone. I know what you tried to do. With the scent of baked goods.
No. That was actually Zalath had a crush on Cleo, and he gave her a necklace trying to tell her that he was into her, and then
What is a
he
crush?
didn't. Well, hold on. Let me finish this. Then we can get into that. So then he didn't actually tell her, like that he wanted to be like in a relationship with her. He just gave her a necklace that could be construed as a goodbye gift. And so Cleo was very upset. And when Cleo gets upset, she bakes cookies. And I just happened to be in the kitchen when the cookies were being made. So I was not
Don't speak to
baking
them.
cookies.
Don't speak to them. You don't need to speak to them. They
Well, I
don't need to
told you
speak to you.
that
You can
one
leave
spoke
them
to me
alone.
first. But
Leave
yeah.
them alone. If they speak to you, just tell them to come see me.
Okay.
There should be no reason that they need to speak to you unless it is to tell you that I am in mortal peril.
I would hope I would know first before they did. But anyway,
They're
yeah,
very
sure.
attentive.
Sure, I won't talk to your cultist people.
You also are not allowed to tell them that I may need to confide in a friend. Hypothetically, I won't. I will not need that. But if I ever did need that, you're not allowed to tell them that.
I wouldn't tell anybody. It would be between me and you. Because that's what friends are for.
If Zalath wanted to be in this arrangement like how it is in those saucy books, then why didn't he just tell Cleo that we are married now? That's kind of like, why didn't he just do that? Why would he ask her? Why would he ask instead of just telling her how it was?
Well, no, see, that's not how that works.
But if he wanted something, then he should just say, like, this is how it is. I demand that reality bend to my will.
No. See, when you care about somebody like that, you want their consent for these things. Consent's very important. Also, like, what if she didn't feel the same way? And he just, assumed she did. That's not good.
Well, I care about my followers, and to show that, I tell them everything that they must do throughout the day and how they must live their lives, because they know that I know what's best for them.
Would you have sex with all of your followers?
Yes, in fact, we have.
Would you have loving sex? Would you have loving sex with all of your followers?
Cecil, I think, why don't you explain to me what a crush is first, and then we can get to that part. But yes, so, if you agree to these conditions, then we can do a trial run of the friendship you speak of.
Okay, yeah. So, like, a crush is basically like...
Okay, we're fading. Unless there's anything else that needs to be said, we're fading.
I almost spit my drink all over my computer.
Sorry, we're not talking about love making versus dirty, nasty, sticky icky, like, whatever.
Just tell you're married now. Why would you say you're married now?
Oh, that's so
It's like in the little like webtoons where, like, in an isekai, and you end up in like a monster world, and then you meet like a monster guy, and they're like, we're married now. Kabe-don.
Yeah.
No.
All right. So as Cecil goes into the depths of this conversation, the camera fades to black as black tendrils and tentacles of hair just seem to just close the scene on this particular moment. Does anybody else have anything?
So I did have something, and whether or not I can do this, let me know. But so one of the, like, example downtime activities in Xanathar's guide is religious service. And
Okay.
you have to, like, do a check. You don't have to spend any money to do it. You just have to spend a work week doing it. And then you roll a check to see if you get a favor. And then, like, a favor has a kind of broad definition. So, like, it could be showing up to a temple and, like, getting money or, like, political support. But it can also be, like, a deity's intervention, like an omen, a vision, or a minor miracle provided at a key moment. So, I don't know, can I, like, do that? Can I like
Here,
try to
here's
get?
yeah. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say you can go ahead and roll for it now, but I'm probably not gonna reveal it to you on what it is just yet if you succeed.
Okay, because the other
Um,
thing too is like if like the Omen Vision Minor Miracle thing doesn't fit in, could it maybe be like trying to give another one of my followers the deeply devoted trait?
That could also be a choice. Let's do this. Let's if you succeed, I'll let you make the choice. You can either choose to like leave it in my hands, or you can go ahead and add you can add a deeply devoted status to one of your other cultists, as if you're be able to bestow those gifts to that individual.
That's really
based
cool.
on their piety towards you.
So it's either
I
a
love this
religion.
thing that you all made up. It's great with the cultists.
Yeah, so it's either a religion or a persuasion check. I'm gonna do a religion check because that's slightly higher.
Okay, and do I come up with a DC, or does it have
It
the
has a
DC in
table.
the? It has a table in there. Okay.
Yeah, so if it's a 1 to 10, you fail to make a lasting impression. If it's an 11 to 20, you earn 1 favor, and if it's a 21 or higher, you earn 2 favors. So I rolled 13 plus 5, so I rolled an 18. So that's 1 favor.
So that's 1 favor. So you can. So what I'll do is I'll let you decide. You can either kind of like leave that in my hands for the future, or you can make one of your other cultists a deeply devoted cultist.
You know what? Let's go for the omen. Let's go for the omen, or
The
like
omen?
the weird omen vision minor miracle.
Okay, because I want some time to think on it before I just
Fair.
blurt it
Yeah.
out. Because too, a lot of these I'm trying to make them relevant to the plot line as well. So I'm trying to kind of
Just
feed them
throw
all
it in
together.
wherever you see fit.
You got it. Very good. Yeah.
But yeah, and everyone's invited to service, like the whole ship, like Xeryn's brothers. Like I'm like, do you guys want to come like worship? Do you want to come listen to the teachings of the Infinity Gate? Let me open your mind to another version of reality that awaits us. And I'm like inviting everybody to come to my service.
I would say, and you can disagree me if you would like, Christy, but I think Xeryn's brothers would be interested and intrigued by this.
Yeah.
And probably would attend, even though they're probably very confused at times, but would just be there just to say, hey, I want to experience this.
Especially Caesius. Solon, not so much as he's gotten older, but he also used to be a lot like Caesius. In my mind, they're the fuck around and find out brothers. So they'll be like, what is this? Let's, pure curiosity, what's this red button? Let me push it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think Cleo actually does go once for a little while. I don't think she would stay for the whole thing because she'd get kind of bored. But I think she would go once for a little while because she wants to understand what Rayla's whole deal is. And is like, oh, okay, that's a lot. So I'm going to go now.
Yeah, it's extremely like esoteric and abstract. Like, and so basically anybody who attends would basically like intuit or like hear that like there is this like cold dark star that like acts as a gate that will lead like the chosen to eternity, where they will like live in a world without pain, and like it will just be like pure like enjoyment and ecstasy, and like everyone needs to basically like listen to Rayla and do what she says and help her because she was like born under the sign of this star, which like with its power, so she's like the key that will unlock the gate that will like lead everyone there, is basically like and like her cultists like are like super like I mean they're astral elves. Some of them might have been there when she was born, like, and like I don't like, yeah, they're very serious about it.
Yeah, I would
But
say
it's
you guys
really weird.
you guys would probably tell that a couple of these cultists probably were there when Rayla was born, and they're devoted.
Yeah,
the
I
last
think,
would have definitely checked out the thing too at some point.
yeah,
And
I think
people
probably
will
Cleo
not
and
know.
Glass went together, and we're like, okay, well now you done now, yeah, let's go.
what was that, Cecil?
Cecil will not go.
Okay.
Because she told me not to talk to her followers, and I want to respect that. So I'm not gonna go.
Even if she specifically invited you to the services?
She'll invite everyone. You can still go to service. You just
Yeah.
can't talk to anyone. Well, any of my followers.
Xeryn kind of just gives Cecil a look like, you should probably go.
Cecil will begrudgingly go if the captain says that he has to go.
It was a suggestion.
Like service.
But yeah,
Oh my goodness.
that's my 8 days.
That's your 8 days, okay? Excellent. How about anybody else?
I make more cookies. I read my books. I spend time with the lad, and I go fishing with Cecil and do some dancing on the deck. You know, the usual Cleo stuff.
Your usual Cleo stuff. You got it.
I just want to drive. I want to go fast.
You want to go fast?
Yeah.
Cecil, this ship is fast. It's like one of the fastest you've ever been in command of. And
Yeah.
Cleo feels bad because her room gets literally not used at all. It's basically untouched. She's got stuff in it, and that's it.
We can give that to the brothers.
Xeryn,
I was just thinking, like, if that's the case, I'd probably shove my brothers in there.
Because I think Cleo would offer. She's like, I'm not going to sleep in my room. I'm for sure sleeping in the last room in case he has like nightmares. So if you want to, they can sleep in my room.
Caesius, after he hears this, just like looks at all of you and is like, thank you, finally. I was wondering if anybody was going to use that room.
Sorry, I just didn't think of it till now.
You can also probably use mine. Because I don't sleep.
That's true. And even if he sleeps, he gets like he turns into like a little puddle, so he doesn't really use the bed.
I've been meaning to ask you, how do you do that anyway?
How do I not sleep?
No, how do you like turn? You just like your body just like.
Oh, how do I turn into a blob?
Yeah.
That was what I looked like before I made my humanoid form.
Oh. So the puddle, the blob, is what you really look like.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, sort of. I mean, there's something to be said about choice, right? You can choose to be what you want to be.
I choose to look like how I normally look. Sometimes I can look like a blob. That's what I looked like when I was at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
I've
Seems
just been
just
wondering
awkward.
the last few days. It's
A lot of the time I go into that form when I get a big wave of some sort of emotion. Just any kind of emotion. If it's a big wave of it, I turn into a puddle.
how about fear?
Not fear anymore.
Good, because you want to stand firm in the face of fear. You don't want to huddle up then.
He like tugs on his jacket. He's like, I have people looking out for me that keep my head up.
That's good.
But yeah, you can use my room. I'm not gonna be in there like most of the time. So.
Oh, does that mean I get my room back?
That's fine, sis. Because honestly, like it was really cramped in there with both of us in there anyway. So like, finally, I can stretch out my legs a little bit.
Hey, Michael, is there a rule I could do? Because Solon gave me the idea of wanting he wants people to know that he's still alive. Could I figure out if there's a way to get into the planet's, like, communication systems?
I mean, in like how would you like what means would you want to be able to like? There's several different ways to communicate over distances, but it would
Right.
probably require some kind of arcane means.
We could go back to the Nautilus.
The captain, Rayla would have told the captain that she has the sending spell, if that helps.
That helps.
I don't know.
It does help, but you can't just send it to people you don't know, right?
See, that's the thing. Like, you would have to know someone, and you'd have to like the question mark there is, who's this? Even if you know this person, who are they loyal to?
Right.
So,
I feel
the back of your mind would tell you, it's a risk. Is it a risk worth taking? That's
right.
what you
And I
have
don't
to
even know if
decide.
they're still alive. Even if like the people that's on her mind, like that she would try and contact that would probably be loyal. She's like, I'm not even convinced they're alive. Because a lot of people died that day.
We could try to like alter the use of that slime well on the Nautiloid if we could get back there, and like mix it maybe with sending. And
I have a better idea.
Yeah, well, let it out.
I cast Mage Armor on myself through the ring. Then I cast. Okay, I empty my ring. I cast Sending into it, and I give it to the captain.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. So let's see. Like I cast a Dissonant Whispers, and a whole person on myself, I guess, to get rid of it. And then I Cure Wounds myself, and then I Mage Armor, and then I give her, and then I cast Sending, and then I give her the ring, and I de-attune from it.
Are you sure?
Well, you have to give it back when you're done. This is, I have bestowed this upon you, temporarily. You may have a fraction of my power.
I give Rayla a thumbs up.
One of the cultists walks by and is looking at this moment and is like, "You've been bestowed a great gift from the key to the Infinity Gate."
Okay, you can move along.
Oh, yes. Yeah, excuse me. I'll continue on.
Thank you, great key, she says as they walk away. Actually, Rayla, would you mind if me or my brothers use this for the time being?
As long as it is returned to me, that's fine.
Pisces, do you have any contacts? You were more the social butterfly than either of us. And if so, are they trustworthy? I know you know people outside the capital, at the very least.
But none of those were trustworthy. Come on, you know who I hung out with.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a couple people I could try, but it's a risk.
It is a risk.
I mean, if it's a risk we're willing to take and we can live with, I'm fine with it. But I don't want it just to be up to me. I want it to be up to everybody.
Right. Rayla, when we were at that communication device, were you able to gather any arcane information from it? Do you think we could manipulate it? Do you remember? You're muted, honey.
Michael, I know I had seen that there were like sigils on it, like language, and that it was like magical, but I don't think I had figured out exactly how to like activate it, right? because it activated itself when she tried to
Yeah,
contact.
she
It
called
activated
us.
itself when she tried to contact Zigmalaz. Yes, that's correct. You could see that some of the the carvings in it, it was made to pretty much replicate something like ascending.
Yeah.
But you couldn't read everything on it, so you weren't specific. Maybe it's like just locked in, pinpointed to a location, and it can only be like from that location. It can only communicate.
Yeah,
So you're
it
not,
makes
you're
sense.
not
My
100%
patron
sure.
talked to me through it too, though.
Well, you went swimming in it.
Right. But I haven't talked to my patron since I left.
I have the sensation, I have the thought that perhaps because it is an altered sending spell built into that magical device, that it may have limited places to which messages can be sent.
Okay.
So if you're trying to get into contact with somebody, I think using the ring would be better. And I don't have to be attuned to it to cast sending into it. I can just keep casting sending into it, but it can only hold one sending at a time. But I worry that device might be compromised.
Here's another question that I just remembered. I do have the smuggler feature down low.
Mm-hmm.
You are acquainted with a network of smugglers who are willing to help you out of tight situations while in a particular town, city, or community. DM's discretion. You and your companions can stay for free in a safe house. So, because I have those connections, do I think I could maybe telephone it? Like, send someone in the smuggling line to get it to my home planet?
Yes.
That I
you
can work
do.
with.
And you guys know a smuggler.
Mm-hmm. We worked with him.
You worked with him.
Mm-hmm.
Rayla
Yeah.
beat him in his game that he loves.
Oh!
Yeah.
He's got a thing for Rayla, so you know.
Yeah, my feature says they will keep my secrets, so I'm hoping that if I can, telephone the word back, it won't get traced back to our location.
Gosh, why am I forgetting his name? Where is it?
I'm also forgetting his name.
Nicodemus.
No.
Ah.
It was not.
Not Nicodemus. It was
Wasn't
close.
it Gordemus? It was
Gordemus.
something Demus.
That's it,
Something
Gordemus.
Demus.
Gordemus, that was his
Demus.
name. Yeah, your GIF, like I said, smuggler friend. Yep.
Okay. I'll see if I can get him. I'll send a message to him and see if he could, telephone the word back that the Crown Prince lives back to Thrace.
Okay. So you're going to use a sending spell to him to do that?
Yes. I'm assuming that would be my connection, unless you know someone better that I could get it to.
That would probably, currently, based on the recent events, that would probably be your best point of contact.
Okay.
From what you can remember. So basically you get the word back from him that it's kind of a dangerous neck of the woods, but he's had to deal with dangerous situations before.
That's your job, sir.
Yeah, he'd be willing to try it out. So yeah, they're gonna deliver the message as soon as they possibly can. It's a little bit out there, but they're gonna do their best.
I would also make sure to emphasize that it doesn't go to the crown; it goes to the people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
Neliema doesn't hear about it first.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I kind of assumed that's where you were headed with it.
Okay, then I will hand the ring back to Rayla once Xeryn remembers her freaking background shit.
Yeah.
I'm then
I
going
think-
to refill it with some spells.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
all I
okay.
do.
I will just do myself following the rules of the ring.
Okay, sure. You got it. All right. Is there any last things
That is it.
before we move on past our 8 days?
I want to get the trident. Z.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course. I hand off the trident. To,
Okay,
yeah.
so Cecil, you're gonna take the trident back?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, I want to show them my arrows too. That the captain gave me.
Oh yeah, you got some fancy new arrows. I believe those were +1 arrows, right?
They are.
Yes.
Yes.
20 of them.
And there were, yeah, I was gonna say 20.
Perfect. Okay, so after these 8 days, you guys, the vessel. So who would be flying currently? Would that be Xeryn or would that be Cecil?
That would be me at the
Okay.
moment.
Okay. So Xeryn, the vessel, like I said, when you get into an area where you're approaching a planet, the vessel kind of automatically starts to slow itself down. Whenever you're traveling kind of fast pace, I mean, you are zinging through wild space and the astral sea, wherever you're yeah, I mean, you're I can't remember the exact number, but it's like a ridiculous pace. You guys are flying at like light speed. You're just heading through. You start to slow down as you're approaching your destination in shide space, not shitty space.
Both things can be true at once.
Xeryn has an accent. That's how she pronounces it. It's fine.
You can see the planet from a distance as it's starting to slow down. You're approaching its kind of gravitational pull area where you're getting closer. You can see that it is a planet that is, from the distance, you can see it has this glow to it. This is a very warm planet that you're approaching. And what you were told from before, I believe you were told that it was a volcanic planet, and you guys were looking for like the tallest mountain, basically, and at the base of it you would find a shrine or some kind of place where you would meet with dementia. I believe that's what she told you. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I thought that's what.
Yeah, I think she
where
was
she was
sounds
guiding.
right.
She kind of
Yeah.
gave
Like,
you the
come meet
coordinates
us.
for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't forgetting anything that I told you guys, because sometimes it's been like 4 weeks since that's
I
happened or
know.
something like that. So I'm just
Yeah,
making sure
that's
I
true.
had it correct. And you guys are starting to break through the atmosphere. It's really cloud covered and dusty and stormy. I kind of imagine like a sci-fi movie where they're coming down through a planet and there's just all these like lightning strikes happening around. It's gray, kind of ashy through here as you guys are carving through upon your vessel, heading down towards the planet. And as you break through the atmosphere, you can see below all these kind of gray clouds, you can see a rocky surface that seems to wield a lot of mountainous regions of dark stone. You can see a lot of volcanoes that are just glowing with this orange radiance that seems to ignite and light up the skyline. As some in the distance you can see kind of erupting and blasting lava into the air. Rocks just seem to be just zinging across the landscape and the sky as flames shoot off the back of them, and this tail of black smoke just seems to burn itself across the skyline very slowly because of how far it is away, as it just seems to just fly from the volcanic skyline and just smash into the ground, probably miles and miles away from where it blew up from. But in the same token, you do see some areas that are kind of this planet is habitable. It's not to where people don't creatures and other people can exist here. It's just a rough place. Like Derek was talking about before, joking around. It's the what was it, the Mustafar of our world right
Yes.
here. That's basically what it is. People do exist here and they try to make a living here, but it's not easy. and you guys are starting to approach that destination where you guys are kind of zinging through, kind of like as if a plane was like coming down, you kind of zinging through and making your way across the skyline. What would you be doing as you guys are all approaching this location? I'm just trying to get a feel for what you guys are doing to prepare, or what you guys got going on at this time.
When we were like about an hour out, Rayla will give the ring of spell storing to Cecil, and she'll say, "I've noticed that you have very little power at hand, and as a friend, I pity you and would like to give you a taste of true power. Take this."
Passive aggressive gift ever.
And I will give Cecil the ring of spell storing that has a whole person, a silvery barbs, and a lightning bolt.
I also have lightning bolt, but
Oh, you have lightning bolt?
It's an
I
extra
do.
spell slot, though. You know.
yeah. I appreciate your gift. This is a good step towards, truly understanding friendship. You also don't have to have like a reason to give a gift. You could just, you could just give it to me and be like, I wanted you to have this. You know.
Well, I don't want you to have it. I want to have it, but I pity you, so I think you should have it.
Come here. Come give me a hug.
Don't touch me. Yeah, I'm gonna remove the ring of spell storing from my inventory, and this I'll drop in general.
Oh no! Now another person has silvery barbs.
I should have just put 5 silvery barbs in
You
it.
should have just done 5 silvery barbs. That would have been hilarious.
Oh man.
Really funny.
I just love after Xeryn was like, "Hey Cecil, you should try making friends with her." And Cecil was like, "All right, mission accepted. I will find her so hard."
Yeah.
Yes, I feel like Xeryn's watching these interactions between Cecil and Rayla and is like, baby steps. Baby steps.
So
Baby
good.
We got the gist of it.
Yeah, we're working on it. It's fine.
I love every bit of this. Fantastic.
Get some extra spell slots for your little warlock.
There you go. How about the rest of you? Anybody else doing anything?
I actually want to talk to the captain real quick.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just was wondering what exactly the plan is. I know Rayla's got all these people that are supposed to be helpful somehow. I'm not entirely sure how, because they seem kind of not built for combat at all. And that's kind of what I think we're getting towards, right? And then what exactly are we doing on this one?
I think at the moment this is getting as much information on this weapon as we can. See if we can play along to Dementia's game for a little while, but if things seem if we need to, we'll fight her. But I would like to get more information, especially if she's working with Now.
So if your plan is to like play along and pretend that we're all about whatever is going on, you need to make sure you're very clear on that with Cecil before we go into it, because he kind of just sort of says whatever's on his mind. And I love that about him, but you just gotta be very, very clear about the expectations.
No, you are absolutely correct. And I was already thinking about that, but I kind of slipped my mind. But
I won't talk, so another problem, and I'll talk to Zilath and make sure he kind of knows what the deal is, but he usually is pretty good about just following your lead, so I don't think that would be a problem. But with Cecil, and I mean, I think Rayla kind of is into what these guys are doing, so I don't think she even has to pretend at all. So I think maybe, but Cecil, you probably should be like extremely clear on what he should and should not say.
Right.
And don't say anything, because he can't do that.
Right. I'll talk to him.
And he'll listen to you a little better. I mean, he listens to me, but like...
Well, I'll see what I can do. We're working on it. Yeah. I mean, if we have to fight, we'll fight. But I need more information.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm fine either way. I just wanted to make sure I know what the plan is before we go in, and I'm like, oh, we're fighting, and they're like, wait, stop! You know, that would be bad. If I'm already shooting people before, you know. If I think we're getting off the ship in guns blazing, I'm going to, you know, get off the ship guns blazing. So.
Well, I guess just be prepared for a fight, but hope for
I'm always
that we
prepared
don't.
for a fight.
Yes, I know. All right, I'll go track down Cecil. Make sure he's on the same page.
Yeah, I'll go let Zilak know, and then we should all be good.
While you guys RP that out, I've got to step away for 1 second. I'll be back.
Okay. I look at Cleo when she says, "I'm gonna go see the lab."
What? I'm just going to tell him that we're playing along. That's all. Why are you looking at me like that?
So you guys figured it out?
Figured out what we're doing. I'm about to tell him what we're doing.
No, I mean the secret.
You know, I don't actually know what the secret was. I should probably ask him what the secret. I mean, probably because we're sort of, you know, doing a thing, so I should probably know, right? If there's a secret.
Are you guys a thing or no?
No, we are.
Okay, then you know the secret that he likes you and that.
Well, he doesn't like me. He's in love with me.
That escalated quickly. Okay, great. So you're
That's
on
how
the same
it
page.
works.
Sure. Yeah. But you guys are good, right? Like there's.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
I'm
Yes.
just
Wait, should I be worried? I feel like
No,
now I'm worrying.
I've been watching the two of you dance around this for a while. You guys have been acting weird. There's been secrets being had on the ship that weren't really secrets. I just
I
wanted to
don't
make
have
sure.
any secrets. I told you everything about me.
The secret was Olaf was in love with you, it seems.
Oh, okay. That's not really a secret.
Not anymore, I guess.
I don't think it ever really was. I mean, I don't know if that can be a secret. It's just something that you haven't said yet.
I think it was a secret because he told Cecil and Cecil wasn't allowed to say anything.
Oh
Because
no,
he hadn't told you.
That's
So
true.
I think that's what happened. That was my assumption on things. I just wanted to make sure that everybody's good.
Yeah, we're everything is sorted. Yes, if that's.
You're happy?
Yeah.
Good. I'm happy for you.
Happy, Captain? Their brothers being back.
Oh,
They're very interesting. They like the cookies a lot. I had to stop making cookies because I was afraid that they were going to make themselves sick on all the cookies. And also I had other things that I kind of wanted to do with my time. But they do really appreciate them, and it's nice to have someone appreciate your work like that.
Our mother used to bake.
Oh.
Our real mother.
Either I guess should I stop? Is that
No.
okay.
They probably will make themselves sick, so like it's their own fault. Let them suffer.
Oh, okay.
They'll figure it out. But yes, I am very happy that they're alive.
Good. I'm glad. If I thought that my sister was dead, I'd be really upset. So I thought, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, she might be, I guess, technically. Depending on how things work when I go back. If the same amount of time has passed there as has passed here, she's long gone.
Yeah, family can be complicated. But,
we're not immortal like you.
I'm just glad that everyone's on the same page. That's what I like to hear. We're getting there. Baby steps. She mutters as she starts to look him to go find Cecil. Baby steps.
Did you read the book?
Which one?
Stardust?
Ah, yes, I finished that last night.
Did you like it?
It was very good. I see why that's one of your favorites.
Yeah.
I left it in my room if you want it back, or I'll give it to you later.
That's okay. Yeah.
All right, I'll go find the little slime monster.
I assume I'd be driving if you were not.
Yeah,
Right.
probably. Cecil.
That's my name.
Just so you're aware. I mean, always be prepared for a fight, but at this point in time, I would like it if we could play along with Dementia's little weird mind games to get more information before we just start attacking people. Are you okay with that?
Well, I mean, what do you mean by mind games? Is she gonna go into my mind?
I don't know. That's the thing. I have no idea what this woman creature is capable of. I know if she's piqued the interest of now, she's not good news. She's probably powerful, based off the book that me and Rayla have read. I think we showed it to you already out of character. I think we showed you the book. And upon hearing about her trying to create a weapon to steal souls from entire planets, I think it's safe to say that we're dealing in a dangerous game, regardless if it's mind games or just full-out war. I just
Well,
want you to tread carefully and mind your words around her, because I don't trust her.
if anybody hurts any of my friends, then I'm going to hurt them.
I mean, that is valid. If she strikes first, you have my full permission to strike back.
Okay. Listen, I'm pretty good at not talking when I have to not talk, okay? I did it in the warehouse. You told me not to do it, and I didn't do it. Except for that one time. Because
Right.
they were
Except for that one time. And all it takes is once.
But you were happy I said it.
Sure.
Because they were like, jumping around, trying to swindle. But that was just the once. I can do it. I am, as they say on The Rock, I am an actor now, and I
Wait, did you fully skip your performance?
I did.
Yours did not show up at all.
I did.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure everybody's on the same page, that's all. If possible.
Yeah.
If we have to fight, we have to fight, but I would prefer to get as much information as possible before it gets to that point.
Listen, Captain, I have to tell you, I think Rayla's starting to figure out this friendship thing. I really do. I think I'm really starting to break through that shell. She still won't let me come near her or give her like a hug or anything, but
Well, it's only been a week. I think you can pace yourself.
yeah.
She's had a lifetime of, dare I say it, brainwashing. It's gonna take some time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I see that.
I appreciate the effort. I see that you are.
She gave me a ring today. She basically proposed to me,
She did not, but she did lend
We're gonna
you
get
her
married,
ring.
apparently. I don't know.
No, that's not how it works, Cecil. And I
know.
don't think you want that.
I'm just being funny.
Hilarious.
Thanks.
Can
I
the
did
wedding
get some
be-
vampire pickup lines,
Oh,
but
no.
I'm gonna hold them for later.
Yeah, you do that. Same. Oh, wait for the wedding.
No, I'm not getting married.
You said you're getting married to Rayla.
But I'm not.
Well, figure it out.
I can go give her the ring back.
I think you should hold on to it for now.
Okay. Why would I use pickup lines on you if I was getting married to somebody else? That seems like a bad time. Anyways, yeah, I won't talk to this person.
I don't understand your logic either, Cecil. So if you're confusing yourself, I can't help you.
I'm just gonna go.
All right. Move. I like just take him out of the chair and I start getting ready to land this thing.
Before
Good
you get
talk.
out of that talk, Cecil, like while she's kicking you out of the chair and taking the seat, opening the door is Caesius. And he like just kind of ignores you right now, Xeryn, and is looking right at Cecil and says,
Oh, and I almost forgot about this one.
Uh-oh.
So you just say this. It's very simple.
Yeah.
Hey girl, want to go out for a bite?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a really good one.
I love him so
Oh
much.
my god.
I'll bring you some more once they come back to mine.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
it's the
yeah.
last. I have to date.
and he immediately walks out and
I have
closes
to
the
date
door.
David's brothers now.
Really
Oh,
good.
good.
Really.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
good. I'm gonna use some of these on you. I am. I will. But anyways, good luck.
My brother's pickup lines on me.
But they're coming
You
from
literally
me, so
told
they're
him to
better.
ask your brothers, though.
Yeah, but not for me.
Well, I'm coming up with some. I'm coming up with some of my own too, and I'll definitely use on you. Close the door. Hey, Captain, I left my trident in there, Captain.
Not my problem.
Captain, I need that, please.
I throw it out the door and shut it.
Thanks.
Xeryn, when you pick this thing up, it's heavy. Like it's.
I have 18 strength. I eat it right at Cecil.
Like, yeah, you're strong,
it
but
is
you're like
big.
surprised at the weight of this thing. Whenever you kind of like,
I catch it with one hand and twirl it and put it on my back.
Right, show up. Go sit down. Ready to land this ship. Find a decent landing area.
okay, find a decent landing area. Was there anything Zalath wanted to do in particular?
No. After
Okay.
talking with Cleoba and learning about like what we're planning, he will go out onto the onto the deck of the ship,
Okay.
and he will just wait for everybody to get like to where everybody comes out and we're after we've landed and everything like that. But
Okay.
he wants to show off his new armor when everybody's out there. So
Okay.
we'll
Okay.
get.
Hey,
I don't know if there's something so when we land, just let me know.
Okay. So you're just like standing on the deck.
Yeah.
Looking
Cleo
out.
would probably have just gone with him
Okay.
because she didn't have anything.
Do me a favor. I would like you to make a perception check for me,
Oh God. Okay.
since you were the one who
Can I
specifically
help?
said you were standing on the deck.
Can I help?
I mean,
Because I'm there with him.
are you on the deck?
Yeah, she would have just followed him because she didn't have anything else she
Okay.
needed to do.
You can take. You can either take advantage. Somebody can take advantage, or you can both make a roll and then let me know what you get.
Go ahead and roll 2.
You want me to?
So Zalath is going
Go
to
ahead.
help
Go
Cleo.
ahead. You go ahead and roll 2. I rolled an 18.
Okay. That is a 16 plus 6, so 22,
22.
right?
Yep. You're right.
So you guys are standing there, and just out of the corner of your eye, you catch like this little flash from far in the distance, almost like if somebody had like glasses or binoculars in the distance, and you just catch a little bit of like a reflection off of it. It's very faint and very hard to tell the exact pinpoint location where it came from because you just caught it out of your peripheral view. But it came from somewhere where you can see that there's like a rocky region over there, and it's a little bit like off of your beating path of where you guys are actually going to find a place to land.
How far?
Oh, just a few minutes. I mean, you can
What distance
not-
is the flash from me?
gosh, probably a mile, 2 miles, somewhere within that distance, based upon the landscape that you're looking at.
Okay, so not knowing what that is, Zalast gets a little like spooked. So he, instead of waiting for everybody, you see clearly, you see him touch his arm, like the arm that has the chain on it. He touches he grabs his wrist, and just you see like a glow happen, and then he totally has like a Power Ranger transformation.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
We're
Goes
so
up his arm,
angry.
covers
Are you gonna tell
his
the
fist.
campaigns to one?
He has a full metal suit of armor now. Oh, and then when it comes up to the head, it like slams down. You see the eyes like flash for a second because
Yes.
it has to flash.
Right.
So you got like a full plate like suit of armor that you just.
It still uses the stat of my other armor. It's just it's called arcane armor now. So I can basically, as an action, I can don and doff it whenever I want.
Sweet.
So that's why he doesn't want to.
Power Ranger. Oh my
Yes.
god.
So
I am so happy.
We're so anime together.
I didn't wear my Power Rangers t-shirt tonight. I wore my Ninja Turtles t-shirt tonight.
Yeah, so he activates his armor and he just stands there like in a defensive position because he doesn't know what that is. So.
I'm going to go tell the captain I'll be back.
Yes.
Okay.
Run
Yeah.
up. Oh, your
Awesome.
armor looks great. I just feel like I should say that before I run.
Thank you.
Leo approaches you, Xeryn, with haste.
Captain, there's a thing over about a mile. I just saw like a flash of something.
A thing?
About that way. I just saw it like a flash of light, like reflecting off of something. It's too far for me to shoot from here.
So whatever that was probably saw us then.
Probably, and could be targeting us. If
All
they have
right.
some technology that, has better distance than I do.
Based off the direction that I'm flying and the direction she pointed to, is that like near the base of the mountain, or is it like at a different location based off where we're supposed to rendezvous?
Basically, you're seeing the mountain ahead of you, so
Right.
you're headed towards it. And in the meantime, you're looking for it's a really rocky region. It's going to take a little bit of looking around to see if you can find a place to land near that spot. But you're kind of just doing like a direct heading towards it, so you can see exactly if there's a place that you can make it easier for you guys.
Yeah.
But the place where they saw this was to your left, so you would have to turn to your left and travel about a mile or two to get to the location where they saw this.
All right, I turn heading towards the location.
All right,
I
so
will
all of a
run
sudden,
back up on deck.
I roll for it. I roll for the dice told
Very nice.
story. I'm like, what does my dice want me to do? I go for it.
And Rayla, I'm assuming you're kind of just in your room, kind of getting things ready to go. You feel the shift of the ship.
Yeah,
Is it-
I'll actually. I think I'll knock on some doors and let
Yeah.
everybody know.
Because
what's going on.
it's kind of like, even though you're in space and you're flying in these vessels, it still feels like kind of like a boat turning whenever you guys turn. So you kind of feel that slow kind of motion as this thing kind of swings through.
Yeah, I'm just
Banks.
telling everybody I'm telling my followers to just follow my lead. And just
Rayla,
slowly-
there's something we're going to go investigate. You may want to come up on deck. And then I'll go to Cecil. Cecil, there's something up on we're going to go investigate. You may want to come up on the deck. And then I'll just run back.
I was just, getting ready.
Okay. So within a mile or two, it doesn't take you long with a fast ship like this to get within range. How are you approaching Xeryn?
I think I'm looking for a landing area in this general vicinity where she saw. Like, I think she wants to put the ship down close to whoever saw us. Like, there's no need for a surprise. Like, they already know we're coming.
Okay.
I think she's just being a direct line.
So there's this part of the region that you're flying over is pretty treacherous. There's not a lot of places to land as you're kind of approaching this spot. But you catch a glimpse It's tucked in pretty well. It took a very high roll to be able to perceive this.
Ooh.
But there is, tucked in a spot where it just fits in nice and snugly, there is a spelljamming ship landed already. And you're thinking that what caused the reflection was some kind of light shining off of the glass around like where the bridge would be. Xeryn, you recognize this vessel as a vessel from your father's fleet. It is what's called a scorpion ship. It looks like a scorpion. It has 2 claws in front and a tail that sticks up that has a mangonel that sticks on the back of the tail. You don't see anyone there, but you see the ship, and it looks like it's been tucked in here very precisely. Somebody who had to have been a very good spelljammer to be able to tuck this vessel into this rocky, crag-like area.
And there's no sign of movement?
As you're approaching, flying through, you don't see any sign of movement, no. But like I said, you're still a little bit up. You're just kind of looking at it down from, from top-down view.
You want me to go sneak around and investigate?
Could you get down there if I get you low enough and come back up?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we could just lower down a rope if need be.
I'm pretty stealthy.
Take Caesius with you.
Okay.
He will be able to identify anything or anyone that can trace back to an identity.
Are you good at sneaking around, guys? Yes?
I'm the best.
We'll see about that.
You get on the deck and you see Cecil tossing the spear, or tossing the trident, and then teleporting to it, and then tossing the trident again, and teleporting to it, over and over, because he's bored.
I'm gonna try and find a way to hover below the tree line to get them as close as possible.
Okay. It'd be more like rocky peak line. There's not really a ton of trees here. It's just a bunch of like rock outcroppings that just stick up in random places. In this current location. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want us to stick out above like visual line on the horizon. So if anyone's still wherever we were heading, I want us to be kind of out of the way. Get them close.
Yeah, you could do that. You get them down there, and you're gonna basically just hover right over top of this thing, and okay. So she brings the vessel above. What are you guys dropping a rope, or are you guys using abilities to get down there? Or what would you guys?
I mean, I'd rather use a rope if possible. Yeah, because I don't want to have to use my divine my wings yet. I don't want to waste my wings on this.
Yeah, rope so we can get back up.
Yeah. Zalath, donned in his full armor, starts tying a rope to the side of the railing, and you guys kind of cast it off.
Cleo, did you want to go down by yourself with him, or did you want all of us to go with you?
I think probably fewer is better in stealthy kind of situations. But
if you need something, just yell. We can be down there in a split second.
Yeah, I know. It seems I would take you with me, but I think maybe the darkness is not going to be quite as useful as just trying to sneak around without it. I don't know about Caesius, but I can't see that well with it.
I can get there really fast too, so it's okay.
Okay. Do you have a weapon, Caesius?
Caesius looks over to you and is like, he starts twirling a dagger in his hands.
Can you use it?
Can I use it?
It's a question. You can answer with a yes or a no.
He takes it, starts swinging it around, throws it up in the air, catches it, and then tosses it across the deck and sticks it into one of the wooden sides of like a really skinny piece of railing, and it's just.
Okay, later we can see who has better aim, but I think now is not the time.
Now you have to go get that.
All I gotta do is walk over there. Not a big deal. I got this. He pats you on the side.
Michael, by the way, you asked me in a DM. Yeah, I just saw this like not that long ago. You asked me if they would have access to magic weapons. I think at the very least, Solon would.
Yeah, I got that message. I'm good. Yep, we got it set. Caesius
Alright.
looks over to you, Cleo. It's like,
Shall we?
I'll hop on down the rope.
Oh, do you? Oh, I was just making sure. I didn't know if you wanted me to go first.
No.
So Cleo starts to make her way sliding down the rope. Caesius jumps over, slides down the rope as well. And you guys land on the top of this vessel. You are standing on the kind of back tail region of it right now, which if you imagine a scorpion, it looks like a scorpion. It has on its back, it has an open deck plan. You can see there's a metal circular door on the top of this. Actually, there might be two. Let me double check to be sure. There it is. There are two on the top deck. You guys kind of lower yourself onto the tail at first. You'd kind of have to like just jump down because the tail kind of curls up and you can see this like top deck area, and there's two metal doors to the sides of the top deck. There's also a ballista on this top deck that kind of faces the front of the vessel.
Okay. I'll hop on down.
Okay. You hop down. Caesius kind of follows you easily. Your feet kind of hit the wood of the plank of the vessel, and you're standing there together, looking at these two metal hatches on the top.
Can I intuit? Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. We're gonna check the whole thing basically. So I'll start with the one on the right.
Okay. You go to try to like pull it open, and Caesius looks at you and is like,
There's no way they left it unlocked.
Okay. Okay. So then, I guess. So that.
So do I hear
She
her?
screams up to the ship.
No, I mean, I'll go get Zilanath and
Okay.
so he can open it.
Listen, I can try to open it.
You can try to open it? How? Are you super strong secretly? You don't look super strong.
Well, I mean, I can unlock
Or is
it.
that like a vampire thing?
I mean, I'm just good at unlocking stuff.
Oh, alright, sure.
so he comes over, and you can see he's got like sets of thieves' tools and stuff that he's like pulling out, and he's starting to kind of use it. And he looks down, and he gets this really puzzled look on his face. And he looks back up at you, and he said,
They left it unlocked.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
Who even does that?
People who are wanting visitors.
So should I open it?
I think maybe we should grab some other people. This might be a trap.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'm going to hop back up. My dad was trained in espionage, so I kind of know a little bit about this sort of thing. Captain,
Yes.
the door is unlocked, which, from what my dad has taught me, means probably people want you to come in, which means maybe a trap. Because your brother said that they never unlock. They never leave it unlocked. And it
Not
doesn't look
usually,
like
no.
the ship is damaged or, has been in a fight or anything necessarily. So there's no reason to think that everybody on board is dead. They could just be gone, but then, it's kind of stupid to leave your car unlocked when you leave.
Alright, maybe take either Zalath or Cecil down as well.
Whatever you think is best.
Having some muscle wouldn't hurt if things get
Muscles, just mostly in my legs.
Right.
I'm a dancer.
Yes, you are very strong. If things get dicey, just let us know and we'll come on down. But I think we need to at least look. I don't want to just leave this thing here.
So do you want me to bring Zilla or Cecil or both?
Up to you.
Okay.
I trust your judgment.
We're a pretty good team together.
Then take them both.
Alright.
Me and Rayla will be your backup if you need us. Me and Rayla and Solon will be your backup if you need us.
What does Solon do?
What doesn't he do?
That's not a very good answer.
He's like me, but stronger.
Okay. Stronger physically or stronger magically? Just so I know what I'm looking at. Okay.
There's a reason he's in line to be king with all his training.
Okay. Alright, Zilla, Cecil, you want to come with me?
Of course.
Sure.
Okay. Let's go.
I will say to Rayla and I'm sorry, the captain's brother.
Solon.
Caesius?
No, the older one. That's the one.
Oh,
with Jessica.
Solon.
Yeah. If we call for help, you all could, as long as I can see you, you can jump off the ship to that one, and you'll land safely. Let the captain know that too. I have to be able to see you though. So make sure I'm on deck if you do that. Okay. I will start climbing down the rope. Also, when I'm talking, my helmet kind of opens like Iron Man, by the way.
Nice. Very cool. I love it. So,
Toss
Cleo.
the spear. Down
Oh, you're
to
gonna
the
throw
deck.
yourself down? Okay.
Yeah.
To try to. Then all of a sudden, Cecil appears. Like he beats you guys down the rope.
Oh, that's rude. Cecil, come on. You're cheating.
It's I can't climb that rope.
Caesius
You
looks at
climb
you
it.
amazed at this and is just like,
You're just full of surprises.
That
watch
is
this
definitely
one.
true.
I take my jacket off and I throw it. And I'm going to cast summon Shadow Spawn. And you see a female figure of like shadows just coalesce under my jacket into the jacket, and she has like a pirate hat on. And she is going to be the despair version of the shadow spirit.
okay. I kind of envision this as you're throwing the jacket up and the jacket is spinning, you're casting the spell simultaneously, and the shadow spirit just like forms in your jacket in the same sequence as this is spinning.
Yeah.
And then just stands right next to you.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
We're so anime.
That's it.
And she lasts for 1 hour.
Okay. Should I summon my shark as well, or is that what we're doing, or are we just kind of like showing off our new toys?
Where
maybe if
did
we're-
you get that jacket?
Well, from my captain, and I'll point at her shadow.
The jacket doesn't usually do that. It's not the jacket, it's Cecil.
That's incredible.
Cleo, I think maybe you should save the summoning the shark for just a little bit while we explore.
I agree. I think probably that's best. Alright, should we open this door then?
Yeah, let me go first.
I'll take out my shield. My helmet will come down, cover my face, and I'm just gonna walk through the door.
Okay. You open this metal door that kind of pulls up on top. It opens up, and there's a ladder that descends down, where you can see that there is light protruding from underneath, and you can see another wooden deck is an interior of the vessel.
I will get onto the ladder and just slide down like a how you see in like action movies, you know.
Yeah, grabbing both sides, you slide down. The
Yep.
metal like clanks as it hits the ground, and you turn around, and you are in a chamber that's probably about 20 feet wide by about 15 feet in depth. So it's not a huge. This isn't a huge vessel. But you can see that on the right and left side, as you're looking towards it, you can see that there are two doors to the front and to the rear of the chamber. You can also see these strange like gears and mechanisms, some larger gears that kind of intertwine with like smaller gears around the side walls. And you can see some handles that kind of jet out, and even some like handles that are on little wheels that look like they can spin and other things. So it looks like all these control stations on either side.
Yeah, I'll just look around, see if I see any like people or creatures.
It's a small room.
land?
You don't see any. You don't see anybody in here.
Okay.
You do see that there's like another set of stairs on the opposite side of the room that lead up to that other doorway that was at the top.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just like kind of like whistle up to the top and like wave them down.
Yeah, I'll slide down after.
Okay. They all, one by one. Is Cecil going down as well? I'm assuming yes, but.
You want to keep a lookout up on top?
I think I should, and this way I can tell anybody if we need help. You can scream up to me. It's going to be harder for you to get up to them if you're all in the ship.
Okay.
Fair enough.
And I have help anyway, so it's fine.
I'm stressed.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take you guys over to the map so you guys can see what it looks like. So in your roll 20, you'll be able to see some of it. I'll take you guys who aren't there and just kind of hover you guys above it so you guys can see what the ship looks like. I believe Cecil said he was standing on top anyway, so he's kind of up on this main deck.
Can't move Cleo, I think, because I'm on the door.
You're on the door, that's right. There you go. I'll move you back and move.
Yeah,
so,
okay, there we go.
Are you guys able to see it all?
Yes.
Okay.
Just Michael, keep in mind I can't because I'm not on roll 20.
Right, yeah, you...
Oh.
Basically, it's a chamber that has these gears and mechanisms on the sides. You got the ladders leading up, and then you've got two doorways. One leading forward on the vessel, which from the way you guys landed, there could probably only be like one more room in the front, and it's probably most likely from what you guys have seen from the Spelljammer helm. And then the rooms to the back might be some kind of, storage, cargo, or crew quarters. So.
Michael, could you move Rayla to wherever Zalath is so Derek can look at it from...
Yes, yes, I can do that. Yep, I will move Rayla there so you guys can see exactly where he is. It's down below where I had you before.
I'm going to just real quick check the helm.
Okay. You go to the door, and this door happens to be locked.
Hey guys, you can make yourself useful.
Oh, finally.
And he walks up. You can see him walk up, and he gets his thieves' tools out again, and he's going to start kind of fidgeting with the door. And he's fidgeting for a little bit.
There it is.
He looks right at you, Cleo, and goes,
Alright, good.
See? Told you.
And the door is unlocked.
You want me to open it?
Yeah, I'm gonna just peek in. I think she's just gonna open the door and look in.
Okay. So you open the door and you peek in, and you can in fact see a small room, the two glass windows on the side where you can peer out. You do see a spelljamming helm in this room that is actively casting these arcane runes down on the floor, as it seems to be hovering just a little bit above the floor. You can see there is a desk in the front that seems to be cluttered with a bunch of different, what seems to be navigation charts, maps, and other things. Not like haphazard, like there's a little bit of organization to it, so it doesn't look that bad. But it does have several like drawers in the desk and stuff too, this navigation setup.
Can I see if there's anybody in the helm, or it's just like on autopilot?
It's just sitting there. There's nobody there. Nobody in the room.
I'm going to try and let's see. What do I? Yeah, let's not trust this.
Michael, while she's doing that, I will go to the other door because there was another door in this room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the other door and just like jiggle the handle for a second, see if it opens.
It's locked.
I think I want to Cleo's gonna take like a second to like take a really good look and make sure there's no like traps or like secret like shadows that indicate someone is there but is like invisible or any sort of thing like that, because I do have blind fight, so if I get close enough I can see essentially even if they're invisible, but I kind of just want to first do a look and then kind of switch in.
Yeah, you look through, and with your blind sight, no one's invisible in here. There's not a single person in this bridge.
Okay, I'm gonna pull my like I think Cleo has like a scarf that she usually wears, and she's gonna pull it up sort of like over her head to kind of disguise herself a little bit, just in case. And then I'm going to sneak on in and grab all of the papers.
Okay.
And stick them in my bag.
Excellent. When you do open a couple of those drawers in the desk, there is in the bottom right-hand drawer there is a small wooden chest. In one of the drawers that seems to has a little bit of weight to it. In one of the top drawers there's a smaller wooden chest that seems to have a little bit of weight to it. And there is also in one of the drawers a pretty hefty coin purse.
I'm going to take all of that stuff and I'm going to be like, hey, Mountain, can I borrow your bag for just a second? I think we're going to put these boxes in there.
Sure, I will bring in the bag, set it down for her.
Yeah, I'll put both of the wooden boxes I'm going to put in the bag.
Okay, perfect.
Just in case. We're going to take a good look at those before we open them. And then, yeah, I guess we move on. Yeah, this looks like everything I can gather from here.
At that point, you guys can see that Caesius has already started on the other door. And starts to... He's smiling and he opens it up.
I walk up behind. Can I try?
Oh, give me a second. And he closes the door back up as he started to open it, and he puts the tools back in and he locks it back, and then he hands you the tools.
Oh, I don't need your tools.
What do you mean you don't need the tools?
Oh, just what? My armor is pretty cool. I go down to the...
You cannot unlock this door with armor unless you get a 20-foot head start, and you use your shoulder and just barrel through it.
You've done that before. I just want to...
I have done that before.
Yes, for sure done that before.
But I put my pointer finger up to the door, and you see that the armor on the finger starts to like change, and it opens up into a thief's tools.
Go gadget thieves tools.
Is this like that scene in RoboCop where you just?
And I am proficient in thieves' tools. I'm not very good with them still, but...
Well, go ahead and make your check. Let's see what you...
Okay, I just wanted to... I'm going to roll acrobatics because it's the same thing. I have proficiency in acrobatics, so...
You got it.
That's an 11.
You're fidgeting with this, so you can't get this thing to unlock.
That is very cool, Zilla.
I just wanted to try it. It's, it's new. See, I have these tools in my finger. I just hold it up to him.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So, did you want to back up 20 feet and see if that works?
Oh, I don't need to back up. I stand up and kick the door.
Zalaf drills the door with his foot. I'm not even gonna make you roll. And you just his foot just goes through it and it splinters the door.
Oh God!
Oh no.
Help! The door was a mimic.
And you see
So we've just fully given up any stealth at all at this point.
Sorry.
and you pull your foot out and start peeling some of the wood away, and the door opens and it reveals a chamber that looks kind of like it looks like a sleeping quarters, and it's not like a bunch of hanging oh gosh, what are they called? It slips my mind every time.
Hammocks?
They're not hammocks. These are actually pretty nice. They're small but nice, comfortable beds. It looks like there's a chest in there. It looks like there's another door that leads to another chamber underneath, and it looks like there's another chamber, another wooden door that leads to the back.
I'm going to rifle through everything. Because Captain said she wanted information. So
Okay,
if there's anything that looks like it might have like a personal journal or anything like that,
you're kind of digging through things.
logs.
In the chest, when you open up that chest, there is what seems to be a nice velvet kind of bag inside there. And as you pull it out, you reveal what looks to be a potion bottle. It's rather large, and it has a red sparkling liquid in it that reminds you of some of the potions that Rayla makes, but this one has a lot more liquid in it.
We'll have that too.
Okay.
I think it might be a healing potion, but I'm not sure, so maybe don't drink it until we have somebody look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that. Yeah, I can do that later.
There's also something in there that you kind of pull some things aside. It looks like there's like a set of like an explorer's outfit or clothes like right there on the top, and you kind of push those away. There is a really shiny metal shield in this chest. It looks like it has this like embossing engraving of these really kind of jagged abstract designs on the front of it. And they have like highlights of almost inlaid red ruby in some of the edges, like where it kind of.
Hey, guys, yes, do you happen to recognize this shield because it looks pretty fancy?
Oh, that's high up Royal Guard. That's some fancy stuff right there.
So, do you want this?
Yes, please. I will definitely take that.
Okay. No, I'm taking the shield. I know you have a shield, so I don't know if maybe your
I'll take a look at it. Are these typically magical? I'll look at Caesius.
Oh yeah, sometimes they're blessed or enchanted. Yeah.
Okay, I'll check it later.
There's also something else in there.
Okay.
It looks like a small wooden dowel that it's very dark wood, and it has these weird kind of scratch etchings in the side of it.
I will save that one for Rayla because it's weird. So I'm going to put that in my bag for her for later.
Also, there's a bag that contains 4 colorful gemstones inside.
I will pick that up as well and put it with the coins.
Mm-hmm.
That's everything here. I guess I do want to kind of toss the beds a little bit too. And look under the beds and like in between mattresses and stuff like that to make sure if there's anything hidden that people have been, like I said, if I can find somebody's diary, we're in good shape here.
You don't find a diary. But you do find underneath one of the beds, there's a block of incense.
I will save that for Rayla as well. Maybe something she's interested in. I don't know. It's weird. She likes weird things.
But that's all you find in this chamber.
Okay, next room. Let's go over in this room.
Okay. That
I
door
don't
is
see
not
another
locked.
door. You said there's another door.
This is a small kitchen area.
Do they have any baking supplies?
Let's see.
I'm probably running a little low at this point because I've made a lot of cookies for Xeryn's plus.
They don't have any baking
And
supplies.
Zalat, who also eats a lot of.
But you do find a small cask of sausages.
Mm-hmm.
You find a small cask of pickled fish.
Caesar will definitely want that.
You find a flint and steel. And a jar of honey.
I can use the honey for baking. I will put all of that in the last bag.
Okay.
We're just going to clean this place out.
Okay, you got it. It seems
I
like
have gone into the mindset, you know what,
Just-
we're just going to take everything.
taking all the things.
Cleo, for this week,
allowed.
make sure you keep an eye, keep track of what you're putting in the bag, because it's hard for me to edit from my phone.
Oh, okay, yep.
You put it in the chat, or in the general chat, and I'll add it later.
Okay. Let's see. Bag of coins. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. I got to remember all of it. Papers from desk. What else? The two boxes. What else did I get from the desk? There's just the papers. There was the two wooden boxes. There was the coins.
Shield, gems, the
Right, I was
coins.
going in order. That was the desk,
sorry.
and then I was like, all right, so the chest. But yes, shield.
The bag of gemstones. You had the bag of 4 gemstones.
Potion. The weird stick. For Rayla.
Yep.
And then incense. And then sausages. Pickled fish. And fun. Yes? Is that everything? I think that's everything.
Good. Yep.
Sounds about right.
Sure. Yep. That's what we got there.
Okie dokie.
There is one more from where you guys are. There's one more chamber.
Yeah.
Or that metal door that leads down.
I will go there.
All right. So you open that up. It's not locked. And this is weird. Because on this vessel, the point of gravity is the floor that you're currently standing on this vessel. Now it's weird because you're landed on a planet. So everything is actually attached to the ceiling on this floor. Because when it travels through space, the point of gravity is opposite.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really strange because as you're looking down on the ceiling, you see a bunch of crates and barrels and storage items.
Well, thankfully, I'm very dexterous, so I'm going to try and don't touch the floor is lava kind of vibes, only with climbing. I'm gonna American Ninja Warrior this.
Okay.
And
Sure.
try and climb on things and pull things out.
Really, you're just kind of going through these crates and stuff. This is just a storage chamber, it looks like, cargo hold. You find 13 more jars of honey.
Ooh, nice.
We can make some mead.
You could. You find 4 more blocks of incense.
Dang.
And 11 salted hams.
Jeez, okay.
I definitely have to borrow your bag for this.
Yeah, of course.
I just have to carry the bag and put things in.
Yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine.
And
I'm not carrying all this stuff back over to you and then putting it in.
it's kind of like you pretty much think you've like cleaned this place out. Like,
Okay. Yeah, I'll head back up. I guess we could go back. Is there was not another room that we didn't get to up before we go back up on deck, right?
that was it.
Okay, yeah, we'll go back up on deck then.
Okay.
I'll tell Cecil I got him lots of food, including pickled fish, which I think sounds very much your thing.
I like pickled fish.
Yeah, and some cool gemstones and some other things. We'll go over all of it at some point.
Cool. There's nothing, no danger.
No danger yet.
Nice.
Kind of a suspicious lack of danger, to be honest.
Nice.
I'm trying to decide if I should go up and tell the captain everything before we continue exploring, or if I should just keep going.
Well, is there anything else to explore? I don't think there is, right?
There's a whole nother door we didn't go through yet.
I know. I think you guys got everything. That was it.
Oh, is that everything?
Yeah, that was the whole ship. Yeah, you've gone through everything.
Oh, okay. Then we'll go back up.
Yeah.
Wait.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
I could just steal this ship.
We could definitely take the ship, but
maybe we first figure out what's going on, and then we take the ship.
Yeah.
So we don't want me to go take the ship now.
Not right now.
Not yet, because we don't know what we're going to do with it, right? Because we're not leaving yet, and the other our ship is just on top of it.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
So once we pull our ship out, then you pull this ship out behind it, maybe, or maybe we wait because it's kind of hidden here. So maybe we
right. But they know where it's hidden, so like maybe I need to hide it somewhere.
We'll hide it somewhere else. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Dude, when I park my car, it's not where I left it.
Okay, yeah, that's a great idea. I think the captain's going to love that idea, so you should be the one to tell her that.
Somebody's walking around on the rocky crag area, and they go, "Wait a second."
Yeah. I could have swore we parked it right here.
Yeah, it was here.
It was Divinity 13.
Reminds me of Star Trek 4, I think it is, when they land the spaceship and they're like, "Everybody remember where we parked from?"
Yeah, I'm gonna try to throw the spear up to our ship to try to go tell the captain I want to steal this ship.
Okay, I'm going to require a check for this one because you're throwing up against gravity.
Yeah. It's not as easy as throwing it down.
Yeah, throwing it down was simple.
I have strength, right? But I don't have proficiency.
I'm pretty sure a trident is going to require your... Well, throwing weapons usually requires dex, doesn't it?
Yeah, if you're throwing it, it's dexterity.
Yeah, you'd be using your dex for this, yeah.
Well,
that makes it bad.
That makes it bad. That's an 8.
8. It doesn't reach the whole way and just kind of comes down and like sticks like a couple feet in front of you in the deck of the ship that you're standing on.
Do you want me to throw it up down for you, Hazel?
I don't think that will work for this.
Wait, that's an interesting idea. What if someone else throws the trident? Can he teleport to it?
I think the wording on the weapon says when you successfully make a... I think it wouldn't work if somebody else threw it.
Fair. Sorry, I tried.
Hazel, just climb on.
Okay, I'll climb on his back.
I'll wait for everybody else to go up first, just in case someone falls, and then I'll climb up at last.
Okay, perfect. And as
I don't think the rogue or the ranger are going to be the ones who fall off this rope.
Yeah, honestly, the ship's just hovering there a little bit, and it's not really that difficult to climb the rope up there. So you guys don't even have to make a check to get up there. And you guys are just heading up there. And as you guys are kind of climbing up over the edge, you can see that Xeryn is like eagerly awaiting your arrival from heading on this. You can see that everybody's kind of gathering there on the ship deck. And in the background, you can hear behind you that large volcanic mountain It stands like ominously behind you, looking over the place. It's starting to rumble a bit, and you can see a glow starting to cascade up from it into the skyline, as it seems like there's just this deep, echoing kind of rumble from beneath this entire planet.
Cecil, I think maybe we escalate your plan to steal the ship.
and that's actually where we're going to end our episode tonight.
Oh, no.
Spelljammer,
Oh, no.
Lost Divinity.